There we go. That was working a second ago. Okay, audio is on. We got a new subscriber, James Hammonds.
Hi.
Subscribed to the channel. Welcome, James. Thanks for joining the family here on the Naked and Famous Denim YouTube channel. It is Friday evening for many of you. It is Saturday morning for us here in Japan. Welcome to our weekly live stream. It's great to be hanging out with all of you yet again. We're streaming live from Yokohama, Japan. I think I said that. It's early. It's gonna take a minute for me to click in here. It's kind of dark. Yeah. So anyhow, hit me with some questions. Let's get my brain moving, and we'll talk about all kinds of fun and interesting denim related topics. Probably go off topic mode a little bit, rant here and there. Everyone loves a good Bezad rant. I do need a little soundboard, so when we have a rant, I can hit like a ding 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 button kind of going on. So everybody, let us know where you're tuning in from. We are streaming live here on YouTube and on Instagram. If you're watching us on Instagram, be sure to head over to the YouTube channel because we're not going to be streaming on Instagram for the entire time. So just be aware of that. So head over to the YouTube channel if you're not there already, and we'll continue the chat there. We've got Prince Hall snagged an elephant 11 from Blue Owl. Snagged an elephant 11 type 3 from Blue Owl Workshop last week. Wow, wow, wow. What a fabric. I hope you are enjoying that one. The elephant 11 Grandrelle launched today. That was a big one. That's probably part of the reason why I'm a little sleepy, because we launched that at 11 a.m. Eastern, which is late for us. And then, we just are on the website to make sure everything goes smoothly. So a late evening for us, early morning here, but that's okay. We're here to talk denim. We're here to talk denim. What do we got? Sorry if the Instagram camera is shaky a little bit, but that's just the way it is. All right, everybody, where we're tuning in from today, we got Lee H. Hello from Sydney, Australia. Welcome, welcome. Xenochild M. Hey from New York City. Can't believe my size in Weird Guy Elephant sold out before I could grab a pair. Okay, let's speak on that quickly. The Elephant 11 Grandrelle, we just launched it on Tati and Yoko and on Naked and Famous Denim NYC. If you don't see your size on Tati and Yoko anymore, check Naked and Famous Denim NYC. We also have on nakedandfamousdenim.com. I know there's a lot of websites. Sorry about that. There is a blog post. We have a complete retailer availability listing. That said, the Elephant 11 Grandrelle, let's see how many times I can say that in this live stream, will be shipped out in batches. So we just shipped out the first batch, and essentially we shipped them out to our customers in basically the order that they placed their orders in. So it was kind of like a first in, first out kind of deal. And we have a second batch of goods coming in about a month. So if you missed it, don't worry, we're gonna have some more. Just be aware of that. So if you missed it right now, check Tate and Yoko, check Naked and Famous Denim NYC, check our retailer availability listing. There should be a bunch. James Dance got them. Blue Owl's got them. There's a whole list. So check it out. You should be able to get a pair. Fingers crossed. I mean, if you do a little bit of digging, you should be able to get one today. There are, of course, some of our retail partners that just don't have the same online reach. So they do have online stores, they just don't have the same type of reach. So if you look through the list of retailers, you might be able to find one if you can't find one, on some of the bigger sites. But if you still can't, we will have some more in a few weeks.
Right.
So
and we would have enough. I don't think we're gonna sell out like that quickly. I mean, we still have Super Guy, we still have Easy Guy.
Do we? We haven't checked since last night.
We do.
Okay, so we do. You should be able to find a pair. Like we tend not to make less than.
Yeah, we try not to sell out so quickly. Yeah. This is not what we intended to do. It's just, our quantities were limited on the first batch, but it shouldn't be too limited on the second batch.
So we'll get you guys. Yeah. We don't want to create some kind of false scarcity or anything like that. We really try to make enough product. Usually, I've talked about it before, my aim is usually to have enough stock that'll carry us for about a year. So it might be a seasonal item, it might be a fall winter 22 item, but I put enough stock in for Tati and Yoko to carry us out for around 12 months. Sometimes we sell out faster than that. It happens. Sometimes we don't sell out faster than that. That's just the way it is. But we don't want to, I'm not in the sneaker game where we made, 22 limited edition sneakers that you have to sign up for an app for and, sell your family and for a ticket for a chance to possibly buy a pair. We don't do that. But that's that. Adam N. Anniversary party at Denali tonight. Looks like Tammy is going to make an appearance. That's right. There is an event at Denali in Winnipeg tonight, and Tammy Wong, our mysterious coworker.
She's a rare Pokemon.
She's a rare Pokemon, that's for sure. She's out there making a very, very special appearance. I wish we could have been out there, but
it is their 20th anniversary.
Big anniversary over there at Denali.
That's impressive,
yeah. Shout outs to Denali over in Winnipeg. If you guys are watching, which I would imagine you have other things to do right now. But if you are watching, congratulations. Sorry we couldn't be there. We would have loved to be there. But yeah, at least you got Tammy. I have to say that a Tammy appearance is rare.
Especially outside of Montreal. She does not like to travel.
Yeah, so there you have it. You've had. I've actually not been to. I've not been to Winnipeg before. All right, Brandon's been out there a few times, but I gotta do that. I gotta do that at some point. I gotta visit. All right, I gotta visit a lot of places. Anyways, the world's opening up now, little bit by little bit. So some places more than others. Japan just opened up, not completely, but yeah. Diet Man, Naked and Famous times Cannibal Holocaust collab.
I don't know about that.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. But that said, I'm gonna spoiler alert.
Let's start with the.
Oh, sorry, I hit the mic. Spoiler alert. When we get into movie recommendation time, I have a copy of that right here. So, anyway, we're gonna talk about a few movies today. But
you read our minds.
You read our minds. You might follow me on Instagram. So that's probably where that came from. Okay. Let's hit some. Let's hit up some more questions. Okay. Let's. A lot of people chatting. I didn't respond to everyone here. Okay. David Macy, hello from Indiana, and we got Sister Brown, hello from Georgia, USA.
Slater.
Huh?
Slater Brown.
What did I say? Sister Slater Brown. Can't read. Riley O'Brien, hello guys. Hope everyone is well. Just have to say the Blue Comfort is amazing. I'm glad you're enjoying them. It was funny. Somebody left a comment in the other day about non-stretchers unite. I was like, I had my rant about accepting stretch denim. And someone was like, no. I'm like, all right, no problem.
It's so funny because it's like stretch denim is like the majority out there these days, and then within this community though, it's like kind of like pushed to the side.
Yeah, I just don't. Yeah. Anyways, we'll rant on that in a bit for sure. But yeah, it's weird. It's weird. I don't understand. Sorry. Sergeant Snuggle. When jeans for people who need 30. When will we have jeans for people who need 36 plus inseams? Probably never. Yes. 36 plus inseam. That's you're an NBA player territory. Probably over 6'6". We
just can't make every single things in long inseams.
Right. We already make a fairly long inseam. Just generally speaking, most of our jeans come in at around 34-inch inseam, which is long. Most men have an inseam of 30. That's the pretty average inseam for most guys. So we're chopping.
If you want to cuff, right.
If you want to cuff, you'll leave it at around 32. But we have guys in our office, 6'1", 6'2", pretty tall guys. And none of them have to hem their jeans. Right. Sorry, none of them have an issue with our jeans being short. Right. Most of them are still cuffing their jeans. You see pictures of Tristan. Tristan's like 6'1", 6'2".
Yeah.
And he's got like a thick cuff on his jeans. I just find it's odd. Sometimes I get this like, I'm gonna go into rant mode a little bit. But sometimes I feel like on the forums and things like that, and people are like, "Oh man, these inseams are so short at 34," and I see their pictures. I'm like, "You're cuffing like 8 inches." Like, uh, you know,
Yeah.
it's okay to hem your jeans. It's okay to have jeans like at the proper inseam. Like if you're super tall, I get it. I know it's hard for you to find jeans. Totally understand that. But we're probably not the only brand that doesn't accommodate you in that respect. Like even a 34-inch inseam person is a very, very tall guy. You're like the 1% of guys. Like an
Right.
actual 34-inch inseam.
Yeah. And the same reason that we don't make, well, like inseam is even worse because like it's not like we only make from 27, 28 to all the way to 44, but even with that we can't cover every people size.
Sure.
And then when it comes to inseams, like if we have a 36 inseam jeans, we have to make every size in 36 inseam jeans, and that's just kind of it's gonna be impossible. We're not the size where like we can accommodate every single person on the planet.
Right. If we make a 36-inch seam, that means we have to make a 28-36 and we have to make a 44-36. Like we have to make them all, and we can't just make one.
Yeah.
So it's not right. If we were some gajillion dollar company with stores in every place in the world, sure, making a couple of those is no skin off our back, because there's probably enough people in the grand scheme of things to cover that. But the size that we are right now, there's no chance of that.
Yeah.
And even then, I find that most people who ask for inseams that are over 36 are just, I don't know, they're coming from like, oh, these unsanforized jeans have a 38-inch inseam. And so I feel like,
to like 35
yeah, but they sometimes feel like, oh, I need it because it's going to shrink. And I'm like, it's not. Like everything we do is sanforized pretty much. And yeah, it's an odd request. Oh, maybe they want them to stack up like crazy. Sure. But it's just it's an odd one. I find that most people who ask me for that genuinely don't need it.
Yeah, and also they might think that like, oh, if it's longer, it's better because everybody can hem. But it actually is not the case, because unless it's like an absolute straight, like we certainly need them to be the close as possible to the average inseam.
If you got a tapered leg and you've got a 36-inch inseam, you chop off 4 inches, you've got a much wider leg opening now. So even at 34 inches, sometimes I'm like, man, we should reduce that a little bit. And here's why I kind of want to reduce some of the inseams. Number one, most people hem their jeans. Most people get them shorted. Most people cuff them. Sometimes people are afraid to hem their jeans, and you have to do this double cuff, double roll type of thing, and you've got like 4 inches of fabric doubled up on your cuff, and you've got this really, really thick cuff at the bottom. It's fine, but you would be much more comfortable with, a 2 or 3 inch cuff, just one fold over. That, also when people try on the jeans, if you've got these extra long inseams, it doesn't look good, right? So you come out of that changing room, or maybe you put them on at home, and you've got these jeans that are so long, and you just can't even see the silhouette. They're pushing up on the leg. The knees are kind of looking funny. So there's this whole thing that having this extra inseam like causes it makes it harder to sell a jean to you. And not only does it make it harder to sell a jean to you, it also doesn't make it appealing to you, right?
Yeah.
Now I have to go and hem these jeans, which is if you're not buying it from Tata and Yoko or like a Blue Hour or somebody who offers the hemming service, but even the stress of the hemming service, like if you have to think, oh man, what if I get this wrong? Which we tend not to get this wrong for people, but I mean, it's just this extra hassle that you gotta go through.
Yeah,
right?
For sure. And also, again, like it messes with the fit. So, like for instance, like the current weird guy, 34-inch inseam-ish, and if we make it longer, for most of the people, it will mess up the fit because it's not gonna fit like the current, 34-inch inseam one. So it's just like we need to take the balance. Like 34, I agree with you. It's a little longer than what most people need, but like we're willing to accommodate like that much.
Right.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah, 33 and a half, 34 is a good balance in that respect. If I wanted to go straight up commercial, 32-inch inseam. Like every brand you buy at, the department store is 32-inch inseam. Right? When I worked at Diesel, we had 30, we had 32 and 34-inch inseams. And like the vast majority of everything we had was 32. We had some 34s. In Canada, we tended not to carry too much of the 30s, but like
no, those are for like Asian countries or like Europe.
Yeah. So it's just when you can find a jean that fits you right off the bat, it is so much better. And I know, look, with raw denim you want to cuff it a little bit, but with most guys, like I said, our inseams tend to be around the 30-inch mark. At least that with our customers. I'm sure other places a little bit longer. But yeah, like if you're a 30-inch inseam, you have a 32-inch jean, you're okay. Like you can cuff that for 2 inches. You can get it in, even if you're to take off an inch on the inseam, you've got a little bit of room to cuff there, a little bit of room for break. You're fine. But when you're if you're a guy, you've got a 28-inch inseam, you're dealing with a 34-inch jean, and you got to take off 6 inches, it changes the fit, right? And it's not like terrible, but if you wanted a skinny leg, it's not going to be so skinny anymore. Yeah. Anyways, there's a lot. There's a lot of things to factor in for like sizing and lengths and things like that. But yeah. Topher Cobra. As someone who always gets my jeans hemmed to 32, a shorter inseam would be much appreciated. Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are, we've discussed this before about offering jeans in 2 different inseams. It's just that we're not there yet. We need a way bigger,
a way bigger audience, or we have to be prepared to alienate an audience. There's like if we were to go 32 or 32 and a half for everything, then I'm sure we would make a lot of people's days easier because they could just buy the jeans. They won't even have to worry about hemming or anything like that. But then anybody who needs a little bit longer, they're out the door. It's a hard balance. At least I find like if you have a 30-inch inseam, you get a 32-inch jean, and the jeans start at 34, you take off 2 inches, you're okay, right? So you have room to cuff. It's a little bit long, no problem, but you still mostly maintain the fit. But once you have to chop off like, more than 5 inches, it's when you're kind of playing around with stuff. It's still okay. I mean, I've done it. I mostly, not mostly, but often I've chopped my jeans up to like ankle length. And so like I'm okay wearing my jeans like that. But most people are, they have them long enough that they have a little bit of room to cuff. But yeah. So yeah, there you have it. Jaden Pora. Not to mention, you need to find a tailor with a union special, baby. Right. Yeah. Mike Knight. I had to pay $20 to get my rainbow cords hemmed. It was hard to find a place that can do chain stitch. Right. It is harder to find somebody that can do it on a chain stitch machine. That's for sure. It's not necessary. I know some people are like, look, we're particular about our details. That's for sure. But I wouldn't like $20 is probably the max I would spend on something like that. If you have to send your jeans out somewhere, pay the $20 and then have, spend more money to get it back, you end up spending like $30-$40 to do that. Don't do it. Just go to your local tailor shop, get them single needle stitched. You're going to be fine. They're going to look okay. And they're actually stronger.
Right. It's actually a better, if you want a like long lasting hem, like hem that doesn't accidentally go and just, fray, like open up the hem, I would recommend single stitching, because chain stitch, if anywhere on the thread breaks, it all goes instantly. So I mean, and like I know that like a lot of people talk about that just the chain stitch creates a little bit more room for them to move around, which creates the nice fading. Yes, but even with single needle stitched hem, it's not like it that doesn't happen.
Yeah, and I have to say something, you know, because I've been looking at a lot of vintage jeans lately, and it's kind of neat to see other people's perspective on these because, you know, we talk about vintage details, oh, union special jeans, the champs, but like there are vintage jeans that have single needle hems, or like jeans that have a leather patch versus jeans that have a paper patch, and like when they made these changes, you know, in the 60s, 70s, 80s, like these are still all old vintage jeans to me. So like the idea that vintage details are only one era of denim production, again, it goes into like that whole, you know, I don't like that. I like looking at jeans as a whole. And so depending on when the jean is made or how it's made or you know, what, I don't know what I was going to say after that, but there's just so many different ways to bake a vintage jean, so to speak. So to say that it must be a union special chain stitch hem, I don't think we offer the service. We like doing it. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's a deal killer or anything like that. You can have a single needle. It's going to look great. It's going to look fine. It's going to hold up better, in fact. And you're still going to get some kind of roping detail. It's just that it will look different. It's kind of like with the paper patch versus leather patch on a denim, on a jean. Like the way that a leather patch scrunches up over time with wash and wear, like the fade pattern that you actually get on the reverse side is different from the way a paper patch would do it. But you look at them both and they've both faded interestingly. But it's just that, you know, like if you're like a denim doctor, like if you find an old pair of jeans and the patch is gone, like you would be able to say, oh, based on this type of fade pattern, I can tell if it was this kind of patch or that kind of patch. But when I look at them visually, like even, you know, a single needle hem, you know, faded over time versus a chain stitch hem, I can appreciate them both, right?
Yeah, and I don't think you can necessarily say that definitively that it was either one or the other. Like I think leather patch thing is way more like obvious than like roping effect on like the
yeah, maybe
if the stitching is gone, I would say that it might be difficult to tell.
Might be.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That's kind of like the myth that like, you know, it's like same thing as like, you know, you shouldn't wash your jeans for 6 months, you know, and you should get hems on, you know, special chain stitch machines and stuff like that. It's like those are things that like, you know, some people prefer and that's fine, but it's not like, oh, you have to do this.
It's not written in stone. There's a lot of like, there's a lot of written in stone stuff that is just not, I think a lot of it just gets repeated again. It's like with the washing stuff, you know, a good example Garrett's been on holiday this past week. So Risa and I have been doing a lot of our customer service questions or a lot more than usual. And it was a great email. Somebody was getting into raw denim and they're like, I've read completely contradicting stories on like how I should wash my jeans and how I shouldn't wash my jeans, and now I'm confused, and what should I do?
Yeah.
And I said, well, here's how it goes, right? You know, you got a pair of jeans, you can wear them right away, or if you want, you can soak them. A soak is going to get rid of that starch from the fabric at the beginning. It's going to loosen up a little bit of the indigo. The jeans are going to be a little bit softer. There will be no difference in the way that those jeans are going to fade over time. You know, so long as you wear them hard, you wear them every day, you're really not going to have any issue, right? Now, when it comes to that's step one. I've got my pair of jeans. What do I do? Do I just wear them? Do I soak them? What's the difference? So that answers that. Then, what do I do about washing the jeans? Because it's kind of silly in one respect. You know, you always hear this advice: don't wash your jeans for 6 months. Don't wash your jeans for a year. Don't wash your jeans ever. But then on the other hand, oh, you should soak your jeans. And it's like, well, what do you mean? I should get these new jeans and soak them, but I should also never wash them? Like, those are contradictory statements, right? So I said, look, the don't wash, no wash, throw all that junk out the window. That's actually junk advice. Wash your jeans when necessary, right? If they stink, you spilled something on them, you fell, whatever, you gotta wash them, right? That you gotta treat them like clothes do, but you don't have to baby them. You know, you can wear them hard and you can wear them for months on end, right? If you want high contrast fades, you want really, really pronounced wear lines, you got to wear them for a long period of time. You got to wear them until your creases are settled and you start to see a visual difference between the color of the wear patterns and the rest of the jean. Once you hit that point, and for some people that's 4 months, some people that's 6 months, some people that's longer, depends on who you are, how you wear your jeans, how hard you're wearing your jeans.
Certainly.
Right?
So that 6 months myth it's busted there.
Busted. It
completely.
Yeah.
Like it has nothing to do with the length of time you wait. And even if you wear it every day, the assumption is that you wear them every day, all day. It's still gonna be different for each people. Like I'm a super slow fader. Right. I don't know why, but I am. I probably don't move around too much, you know.
Yeah.
And some people are very fast. So it's just one of those things.
So it depends on you. And but once you get to that visual point, however long it takes, and sometimes certain denims are just slow to fade, right?
100%.
So once you get to that visual point, that's when you can start to consider, maybe I could start washing these a little bit more regularly, right? If you want a high contrast fade, you got to keep wearing them as long as you can without washing them. But understand that there's consequences with that as well. The longer you wear a jean without washing them, the more stress you're putting on that denim. You're also not giving that denim any breaks. You know, you're wearing them every single day, day after day after day. If you get a crotch blowout, rips, things like that, your jeans will become more prone to that.
Yeah, because the bacteria will build up and they eat away the cotton fiber. Yeah. So it's even if you don't care about the dirt or smell or something like that, you should actually periodically wash your jeans for them to last longer. Yeah,
it re-strengthens those cotton fibers. You're also putting the same stress on the exact same points day after day after day. Like, you know, you're grinding away at these cotton fibers, which are certainly not indestructible. So that's something you have to consider with the everyday no wash lifestyle. You can do that. That's fine. I'm not saying don't do it or anything like that. Just saying that you can't do that and then be like, well, my jeans only lasted, it was in 9 months I got a crotch blowout. I'm like, yeah, but you wore your jeans for 9 months every day straight. Like, think about if you did that with a t-shirt or any other garment. Like, you would expect certain amounts of wear and life to happen to them, right? So I do sometimes find it unusual when I get an email where it's like, well, I wore these every day for 9 months like you guys said. I'm like, I didn't say that. But and now there's a hole in the crotch. What are you going to do about it? I'll give you some advice. That's what I'm going to do. But there's nothing I can do about it. I can't reverse the hands of time here, right? You got to fix your jeans to continue to wear them. And luckily, that's an option for you. But you also have to understand, like, sometimes within that email, they'll say, well, I've had these, jeans that I bought at a big box store, and I've had them for 3 years, and there's nothing wrong with them. And I'm like, did you wear that pair of jeans every day for 9 months and never wash them? Oh, odds are you didn't. You just owned them. Sometimes people don't make that correlation. I'm like, oh, you didn't wear them every single day for 9 months straight. You and now you're telling me that the thing that you didn't use at all because you've been wearing these jeans have somehow lasted longer.
Yeah.
Am I do I have to explain this to you? Like, if I leave something pristine in the box and never use it, it's no miracle that they're still new, right?
Yeah. Again, people don't consider it. Just the time that it passed is enough for them.
But back to the fading. So, wearing them for a long time, high contrast fade, wearing them to the point where they're ready to be washed. If you start washing them regularly at that point, and I mean, you don't have to wash them every time you wear them, right? You can every couple of months or whatever as necessary. You will still achieve a great fade that way. I've certainly been able to do it. You start to wash off. The more you wash your jeans, the more indigo you wash off. And so you will achieve, in my opinion, a more vintage looking fade at that point. Another good thing I think is another good practice which I really don't talk about too much, but I mentioned it I mentioned it in a YouTube comment the other day. Somebody mentioned it about hanging your jeans. Like a lot of people, when they haven't washed their jeans for a while, they're not really sure what to do. Should I put them in the freezer? No, it doesn't do anything. Should I spray them with Febreze? It doesn't really do anything. Hang them out in the sun, right? Hang them outside, let them air out, let the sun do its work. Because actually the sun will help, like, kill the bacteria. It's a good idea. If you live in a sunny place, just let them hang out there. And that sun will, like the UV rays will also, I think it'll do some,
don't leave it out too long though. I mean, because sun can do the damage to the dye as well.
It won't, but it won't do it in a day, right?
No.
But put them out in the sun. Let them air out outside. Let Mother Nature do its thing on them. And I think that's another good way to just air out your jeans when they're still maybe you don't want to wash them yet, but they're a little bit funky.
Somebody mentioned like a steamer, and steamer is also like it does like soften up the fabric a little bit, but it's not to the point where like you wash them because you're not soaking in like fully wet. So steam, high temperature steam can also kill some of the bacteria, and then it kind of like if you have like it helps with the cleaning of the fabric.
Yeah, a little bit, right? Nothing is gonna replace actually cleaning them, right? So if they stink, and your boyfriend or girlfriend or someone's telling you like, hey man, your jeans stink. Probably that's a good sign. Like you got to wash your jeans.
You're smelling it every day, so maybe your nose is not so sensitive, but you listen to other people around you.
Richard the Great. Yeah, people brag about having jeans for 2 years but wear them twice a week. LOL. Yeah. 9 months isn't the same for everybody, right? 9 months of wear is not the same for everybody, that's for sure. So, just be aware of those types of things. There are no rules. Really, at the end of the day, however way you wear your jeans, whether you soak them, don't soak them, wash them every time you wear them, or wash them once a year, or wash them never, the result is actually the same. They fade according to your lifestyle. They fade according to the way you wore those jeans. And that is really, I sometimes I don't like saying that's what raw denim is all about. Raw denim, I don't know what raw denim is. If I were to pinpoint it, I don't know. They're just jeans, But fading raw denim, I think fading raw denim is about creating something that is personal and unique and represents you. And sometimes there's a little bit of cosplay going on where you're wearing these jeans. Maybe you're wearing these jeans in a way that you want certain types of fades to happen. And you're doing things that are maybe outside of your regular wheelhouse. But I guess if you start doing those things and they are part of your wheelhouse now, because that's the way you do things. But
I mean, I'd say enjoy it. Like there is no wrong way. Like I would even say to that like, if you want to try something new and like see how like it affects your jeans and whatnot, like sure. I mean, it might not be like genuinely in your routine, but you try new things. Like that's fine.
Yeah, takes a while. I also find that it takes a couple of pairs till you're just like, whatever. I'm just gonna wear them, right? Yeah. I'm just gonna wear. I've got jeans. I get them new. I put them in the wash. I'm just like, forget soaking. I want all the starch out. Get it out. I want them to be soft right away, and then I'm gonna wear them. Like.
It just depends on your mood too. Sometimes you're like, okay, maybe I want to like put my work into this pair. Yeah. And then, you maybe that feeling will last, maybe that feeling won't last. Sometimes you just don't even want to try, or just want the most, like a soft pair possible. Yeah. Anyways. Yeah. The Raven writes, one wash won't ruin or completely change your jeans in my experience. Absolutely they won't. You know what will? Well, it doesn't really, but it kind of freaks you out when the first time you do it. Like if you get a pair of jeans and you wear them for like, they're faded. They're noticeably faded, and you're not really sure if you're ready to wash them yet. And then you soak them in a tub. And then what happens is all that indigo starts to like loosen up.
and some of it starts to resettle in all your faded areas. So when you take them out of that soak bath, you're like, what happened to my fades? Like, eventually that stuff's gonna fade off again.
Right.
But like, I've been there, or like early raw denim days, and I'm like, what? Like, what? Did I just re-dye these or something? I don't know if that's ever happened to you, but it certainly happened to me. Vance Edwards, I'd say hang them outside off your porch, maybe in the shade every day. You're not wearing them until they no longer stink. Yeah. Hanging them outside, good advice. They really do stink. Get that washing machine. Wash them good. Also, with the washing machine, couple of pro tips for the washing machine. Inside out, always. You wash them inside out because, in fact, it's good advice for pretty much all of your clothing to wash it inside out, because generally speaking, right? Like it depends on how much you care or whatever. But the reason for inside out is when you're in the washing machine, you're basically putting your clothing in a tumbler, right? You're everything's being abrased, everything's being rubbed up against each other in that machine. So if you're gonna have a fabric that's gonna pale or discolor, you'd rather have it on the inside of the fabric than the outside of the fabric. Because if something happens here, well, it's on the inside. You're not gonna see. It's not gonna be visible on the outside. So that's the idea for that. You've got indigo denim that has got loose indigo. It's rubbing up against stuff in there. More indigo is gonna rub off. If you want that, cool. If you don't want that as much, pull them inside out. So, and of course for the texture of the denim and things like that. So, that's why you wash inside out. Wash with similar colors. Wash with other items. When you're washing alone, you've got this ball of indigo. Even if you have it inside out or not inside out, think about it. You're just like taking because it's like a piece of paper, like it's a rigid fabric. You crumple it up, and now you're spinning it around inside this machine for a while, and so you have all these sharp edges that are just being banged around the machine, and you pull them out, and now you've got all these like spider vein, marbling type of effect. Again, personally, I've had that happen to jeans. I kind of like it. Doesn't bother me. But sometimes you might get a pair of jeans that come out like that, and you're like, I wasn't expecting that, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how effective it is actually, but I sometimes put in those like laundry balls so that like it kind of offsets like that veininess. I'm hoping that it does. It's supposed to do that. It's supposed to like have something in there, especially like the ones that are plastic, like
right.
Not the ones that like you put in the dryer, but like the ones that you put in the wash. It should in theory it should help.
But the reason why you wash it with other items is so that it's not you've got other things in there to soften the blow, so to speak. Yeah. So wash with other stuff, right? If you're going to use the washing machine, avoid the dryer if you can. I actually am a sadist, and it all goes in the dryer pretty much. So again, when you put things in the dryer, that's another round of abrasion that jean is going through. So if you want to avoid that marbling type of thing from happening, maybe avoid the dryer. If it goes in the dryer, you certainly have a chance of that happening, and it's certainly a higher chance if you're doing it on its own. So just be aware of those things. If you're gonna wash in the washing machine and the dryer, I don't really recommend the dryer. It's actually not on our care labels. We tell you not to. We tell you to hang dry, which is the safest. I think a lot of brands will tell you do the safe way, because I don't want to tell you to put it in the washing machine and then something happens. Oh, my jeans shrunk. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, I'm not going to be responsible for that. You can take the risk on your own. You know how we all know how things react in the dryer. Hopefully we do, at least. So they shrink a little bit. They're still going to stretch out. A little discoloration here and there. That's part of the raw denim fun. But know that when you put it in that dryer, you're rolling the dice with that. So I can't guarantee what happens when you put it in the dryer. Yeah. What else? I think that's it for washing and drying advice. Wash with similar items. Wash in a regular load, and inside out. You'll be safe. And avoid the dryer unless you want to roll the dice, and that's on you. Pretty how dryers murder. Yeah, dryers cannot be your friend sometimes. I mean, I
Yes
like
and
them,
no.
and
Yeah, I mean it's very convenient.
yeah, it's like you have to be willing to like my shirt sleeves are gonna be a little short now, right?
Yes, it will affect the shrink.
Yeah.
Shrink. Yeah, it does shrink.
But
Clothing.
but one thing to note also is that you can get a lot of shrink back, right? A lot of
Mhm.
people they get it out of the jar, they put it on like, oh, it's shrunk. I'm like, just tug on it a little bit, right?
Yeah.
There is room. There's room between those, cotton fibers for it
Yeah.
to give. So just like your jeans stretched out when you wore them, just gently tug on, the direction that you need more room in, and you're gonna be just fine.
Yes, I mean, cotton is a very interesting fiber. It's not going to like shrink to the point where like you can't
Yeah, it's not wool.
bring it back. Yeah, it's not wool. So yes, a lot of the thing can come back. But again, like if you have jeans that are like so tight on you that if it shrinks any further, you cannot put them on, then please don't put them in a dryer because the chances are it's gonna be small.
Right. Decibels. How much bleach do you put into the wash when you wash your jeans?
I don't.
Well, when we wash with bleach, follow the bleach instructions. That's pretty much it. I would say go half of that. You gotta look again. This is rolling the dice, right? Use half of whatever it tells you to use on the bottle for a load, and this is also when you're washing your jeans alone, right?
100%.
Right, because you're not gonna put a blue jean in with your whites with bleach. When you're washing your jeans with bleach, this is you get those dice, you throw them. It's gonna be fine. Like in my experience, it's always been fine. But
I have to say that like I'm not sure if like it's like the bleach is here, but whenever I put in like sometimes I use bleach like actual bleach like
Clorox,
type of bleach. When I'm washing white, I want white to be white.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I always put in like the amounts that they tell me, and it just doesn't do much. And I think it's the same thing with the blue jeans. It's just like here I think maybe the instructions are very on the conservative end that like it really doesn't do it, but who knows. Yeah, do not put blue jeans with your
don't put them in your
light
whites
colors when when you're putting in the bleach.
So anyways, it's like I don't think, man, I think it's a hard question to answer. Like how much do I put? I'm like it's very
like I sometimes like like for my like side craft things, I sometimes bleach denim so that I can have like a lighter faded look of fabric. And like I bleach them like I'm working with scraps, so like I bleach them in my sink, and it's amazing how long it takes and how much bleach it takes to actually make a noticeable difference on a denim fabric. Granted, I'm not like rubbing it against whatever, but at the same time, it's incredible amount of bleach. So I mean, don't be scared of
Okay, and by the way, I'm not recommending you wash your jeans with bleach. Absolutely, there's not a recommendation. The point of washing your jeans with bleach is to like kind of speed up the fades a little bit, to brighten up the fades. Mm-hmm. You gotta be...
And it's an experiment.
Yeah, this is an experiment. Yeah. I've experimented with it, and I've had good results. No problem. The general advice for you, if you want to keep your jeans dark, use Woolite. Use a dark wash. Use a gentle wash. Use cold water. David Macy says, I've been told to use Woolite. Correct. Mm-hmm. You want to keep your jeans dark. The general, I would say, advice, use a dark detergent like Woolite. You'll keep your jeans, you'll preserve the color. When I'm talking about bleach, I'm talking about not preserving the color. I want to fade that denim. I want the whiter parts to be white. I want the bluer parts to be bluer. I'm going rogue here. I'm going against all convention and saying, F it, I'm just going to do whatever the hell I want, and whatever happens, happens. So if you're in that, realm of raw denim, experience where you can just be carefree, try everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's just my experience with that, because I've done it, I've talked about it, and people every now and then ask me about it, and that's my experience with it. Now, if you're not, that goes against your values, you don't want to do that, you don't have to do that. I'm not saying that this is something you should do. I'm just telling you my experience with it. So I hope that's clear.
Yeah. We're not your lingerie consultant, which is a thing in this country. There is a people who.
That's amazing.
People whose job it is to consult lingerie questions.
Okay. F1 Hot Rod. I would use color fast type detergent. Keep the indigo in the jeans. This should result in higher contrast fades. Of course, I am new to this and don't really know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. All right. So the OxyClean type of bleaches. So they're bleach that are like enzyme based. That can, that doesn't take away like colors off of colors.
OxyClean, I find it does. It's a little bit more.
OxyClean, I think it works in a certain way. Like it's fine if it was like a shirt like this. But I think if you're working with, like, I think a lot of people,
if you use it on a non-color fast garment, like a raw indigo jean,
it's going to react differently. So like indigo jeans, or like a lot of people in our room have problems with like washing jeans with the leather patch that are dyed. Like it doesn't affect the dyes the same way, and like you're dealing with cotton fabrics and like a permanent dye. So I mean you wouldn't, like, just because it says it's color fast doesn't mean that it's color fast in all of the things.
Right. So avoid that for your jeans, I'd say. But gentle detergents like Woolite Dark, I would say are pretty commonly advised for raw denim jeans to maintain their their dark color. Now, you did mention something, F1 Hot Rod, about it giving you a higher contrast fade. I would say that you are right, because what you're gonna do is that you're gonna keep the darker parts dark, and the parts that have faded they're still gonna look faded. So when you talk about higher contrast, you want to have a pretty wide I guess range of color between the lightest point of the jean and the darkest point of the jean. Got it. I like jeans that have a lot more uniformity in terms of the fade. Like, you will have those lighter portions, but I don't want the darkest part of my jeans to be very dark. I want the darkest part of my jeans to be very mellow and very light. I want all that indigo gone. Yeah.
Like, you like more of like a vintage jeans kind of.
Yeah. I want it to be almost white. Like, there's so little indigo left in it. But I want it. But what I like is that I get the transformation is all me, right? I went from this super dark denim all the way down to nothing, and like it's like using a pen all the way to the end.
Right. It takes a very long time, and that's why bleach might help.
Yeah. Wash Chubby writes, R.I.P. Billy Mays. R.I.P. Billy Mays.
Who's Billy Mays?
OxyClean guy. Hi, I'm Billy Mays from OxyClean, and today we're gonna clean.
Died?
He died a long time ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't know.
Yeah, he's
of him.
Iconic salesman. Iconic salesman. Him and Ron Popeil. The Ronco. I idolized those guys. When I talked about how
knife guy.
Ron Popeil probably sold knives at some point, but he was an inventor. He did like the food dehydrator, like hair in a can. You name it, he invented it. He had a million products. Ron Popeil, and he had like a countertop rotisserie chicken thing, and juicers, and you name it. Jack LaLanne also with the juicers. I guess because when I was a kid, Saturday or Sunday afternoon at like 2 or 3 o'clock, there wasn't anything on TV, so it was all infomercials everywhere. Me and my brother.
Saturday and Sunday?
Yeah.
Nothing was on TV?
I mean, nothing interesting for kids. Like, in the morning, it's all like, all the kid shows, but by the afternoon, it's like golf and infomercials. So the amount of infomercials I watched as a child was a lot, and I would say that I was definitely I bought into everything that they said. It's like if they showed off like look at how much juice is coming, I'm like amazing. Like
Yeah, those are actually really fun. Like even after like I mean when you're kids like you believe everything you were saying, so that's a cool experience. But after like you actually learn about the world and like you know a little bit more about real world, it's fascinating to see those after you know all this too.
But some of them are genuine products, I have to say. Like they're not, there's no BS there.
Yeah. But it's just like, you know, salesmanship and all this like how to look at things.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I idolized those salesmen. I really did enjoy them. But wait, there's more. If you order in the next 30 minutes, not only are we're gonna double your order, just pay separate they stopped calling it shipping and handling. What did they start calling it? Like I don't know, processing and something else. But anyways, just pay separate handling fee, and you'll double your order, and we'll throw in a year's subscription to Juicer Man magazine, where you can learn all the greatest tips about juicing and blah blah blah.
By the end of it, like you want all these things that you never ever like even thought about.
Hey, but you know what? It might improve your life. It might have improved your life. Imagine how much more fruit you could have dehydrated and enjoyed.
I would actually want a food dehydrator.
Why not? Yeah.
What? Like you can make wait, it's not a freeze dryer though.
No, it's like on your countertop, and you can like slice apples and all the different fruits, and if you want like apple chips, you can make your own apple chips.
It's gonna be like a little moist to dry.
I don't think so. I'm not sure.
I want a freeze dried
that'd be kind of cool. Yeah.
I don't know how small they can make it.
Who knows? The Raven. I would love to see a Naked and Famous Denim April Fool's infomercial. I would too. I would love to do it.
Yeah. You would be good at it.
I would need somebody to like actually properly produce it, but it would be kind of funny. Like I would be the host, and Brandon would be the guy who's like doing the sales. Wow, that's amazing. Or vice versa. I think it could be kind of cool to do it either way.
Yeah.
You gotta put on like a cheesy flannel like suit and like a plaid suit.
I feel like we talked about TV.
I think last week. I definitely like idolized those guys. I wanted to be the chamois salesman. I'm like, man, look at that guy sell shit. Like it's amazing. They're selling chamois, but it's just that they're showing you how it works, and I was always
the excitement.
The excitement was high. So,
sure.
But it would be kind of cool to do a video like that, like in that kind of parody style for our jeans. I think it'd be kind of funny. We're like, have you ever? We're just like doing stupid things to the jeans, like here's a chainsaw. You can see it withstands that. Here's an elephant trying to tear apart the elephant denim. It can't do it. Here's what the competition does. Kind of funny. When people talk about infomercials, I immediately think about Joy from Friends with Milk.
Yeah, me too. That's a good one.
Yeah, and also, and nobody in infomercials knows how to do anything.
Yeah, that's just like idiots. Yeah,
it's so funny. It's so funny. Like, they're just trying to pour juice. Oh, is this you?
But I honestly think that I know about those like super cliches. Like obviously TV like selling is a thing in Japan too, and it's kind of similar. But like I never really watched growing up. Those are like on like weekdays during the day. Like I never watched them, so I just like I probably am only like what I've seen is like the top of the top, like most ridiculous, outrageous.
There's ones. What's the guy with the tape? It's like the magic tape or whatever it is, and like
that seals
the magic seal. Like he's got like a giant flood or whatever, like some kind of thing is pouring out. He just smacks it on. He's like, see, and he like makes a boat out of the stuff. I'm like, that guy's awesome. Yeah, like that guy. It's really fun. I mean, anyways, it could be. Yeah, I don't know. I certainly enjoy that type of salesmanship, over the topness. Fun products. somebody was writing here about Beanie Babies. CO wins. The Beanie Baby sellers on QVC were amazingly aggressive. Made me want to buy them all as a 10-year-old.
I didn't know that they sold the Beanie Babies
sold
on QVC.
Everything. Yeah, and they're like, oh yeah, well, should be the Beanie Baby, and we've got the little protective thing for the tag. It's gonna be pre-installed there for you, so you can protect your investment. I'm like, man, Beanie Babies were big. That was a big thing. I wonder how. I'm not a Funko Pop guy. I don't even like the way they look. But I really wonder what's going to happen to those people when they realize that they're just buying the modern version of Beanie Babies. Sorry.
Well, I feel like they know.
I don't know.
Really?
I don't know.
They think that it's going to be valuable?
I could be wrong. To be fair, I could be totally wrong about this. I am open to admit it. I'm not into it. I don't really like the way that those characters look personally. Those collectibles. But I have friends who have massive Funko Pop collections.
No, yeah, but it's like I don't think they actually believe them to be like someday it's gonna be worth so much money.
I don't know. You guys tell me. Are you who's a Funko Pop collector in here? You let me know. All right, Diet Man, please make another Black Elephant or MIJ Black 30-ounce heavyweight. We've got a Black Elephant coming. Elephant 7 is actually being redone, but it is coming in the form of the Jotaro denim for the JoJo Bizarre Adventure collaboration that we have coming up. So, watch out for that.
Yeah, we should have sample preview sessions in the next
maybe month or so.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. In the next month or so, by the end of November, we should have samples in hand to show you guys. We'll preview the collection with you, and so watch out for that. But yeah, there is a heavyweight black coming, and when it comes to the JoJo's collab, I kept some of the flashier details. I minimized them a little bit. We didn't do the back pocket embroidery. We did the custom button instead, custom leather patch. So even if you're not, a JoJo fan, you can still enjoy these jeans without, having too much,
even
to show on them.
Yeah.
Right? Because I know that we've had things like the Pickle Rick denim, and people are like, I really like that jean, but maybe I don't want a pickle embroidered on the back pocket, which is fine. Like I understand that if you're not a Rick and Morty fan, maybe that doesn't mean much to you.
Right.
So I kind of wanted to balance it a little bit more, and keep the details a little bit more subtle.
Yeah.
And focus on the fabrics.
Yeah. And I like the little hidden details too, like pocket printed. Like it's quite, if you're a JoJo fan and you want the jeans, there's enough details in them to get you excited. But if you're not and you just like the fabric, then you can wear them too without feeling like you have to be a JoJo fan.
Right. All right, so we've got some Funko Pop responses here. Where'd it go? Somebody said something about a Dwight Schrute Funko Pop.
Wow, you're telling me my Dwight Schrute Funko Pop won't pay for my kids' college in 15 years?
No, it definitely will. That is financial advice, by the way. It is not financial advice. No, you're unless you have the only one left ever, so somehow you've destroyed all of the other ones, and you have someone who's got a lot of money who is willing to give you enough for your children's college fund. I think you might have a hard time funding your kid's college fund with just that one. But I might be wrong. I don't know anything about these things really.
I wonder how do Ronaldo they Ramirez. Release super limited ones?
All the time.
Super limited ones?
All the time.
Okay.
It's kind of like, they're creating scarcity instead of things being scarce naturally. Like when you think of, an Amazing Spider-Man issue 1, they didn't create scarcity, right? Because
they just didn't know how much.
They just printed however many they printed, and they didn't know that this character was going to be the icon that it was when it was. So to have a mint condition one of those 60 years later is very rare, versus, hey, we're going to make 200 of these, or we're going to make 50 of these, and everybody who buys these is going to immediately take them, put them in a plastic case, and put them in their cupboard somewhere that they're never gonna see ever. So fine, they're rare, but they've created rarity. Like really old baseball cards are worth a lot because they weren't this commodity, right? So
a lot of people throw them away, destroy them,
Yeah.
and as a result, like some things that are kept, untouched.
how many? I mean, you have to be of a certain age, but like, how many of you guys had your parents throw away your baseball card collection or whatever? Like, I remember at one point my mom was just like, "You don't need these anymore," and gone, right? And I'm just like, oh, my cards are gone, right? And that was just normal. Like, I knew all kinds of kids who were like, "Oh, you don't need these toys anymore."
Yeah.
Right?
Well, there was a lot of things that I wish I didn't throw away.
Yeah.
And I can't have them anymore.
Right. But Vance Edwards, Funko absolutely makes rare pop. They usually release them to cons only. Right. So anyways, look, if you enjoy them for the enjoyment of the character, even the collecting aspect of it, fine. Right? I have no problem. You can enjoy whatever you want to enjoy. You like collecting action figures, figurines, things like that. But for me, my problem is in any, whether it's in the collectibles sphere, like some of you might be able to profit off of it, but if you're going into it thinking you're going to profit off of it, maybe anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not going to. I'm just speaking from personal experience with my kid. When I was a kid thinking I'm going to make all this money from my hockey and baseball card collection, my comic books. My comic books are worthless. I have so many. I don't have so many, but I still have a bunch of comic books. And as a kid, I'm like, oh, I'm going to keep it in mint condition. It's going to be like nothing. All of your 90s comic books are worthless. Because everyone was like, anyways, that's a comic book channel to talk about. But everything in my life that I once thought was going to be like this incredibly valuable thing,
well, if you thought that, other people thought that,
right.
And that it doesn't work that way.
Like, I own a lot of video games, and some of them are rare, but I never bought them for the thinking I never bought them thinking, oh, this is gonna be a rare collection one day. I'm gonna sell it all. I'm gonna make I ain't never selling any of my video games ever unless catastrophe strikes. But I have some I have some valuable things in there, but I'm like, they're not. Oh, well, that's worth $400. But yeah, I'm never gonna sell it.
Yeah, I think you enjoy the fact that some of those games are valuable, but it's different when you're actually trying to sell, or it's just you're content that you have something of value.
Yeah, right. Pokemon games have good resale value. Pokemon games have good resale value in the same sense that Super Mario Brothers 3 has good resale value. Contra has good resale value. There's a lot of popular games for these older consoles that have good resale value because they're in high demand, right? There's millions and millions and millions of Pokemon cartridges and Super Mario Brothers 3 cartridges out there in the world, but it's not $1 game because people are willing to spend $20, $30, $40 on these games. Now, if you have mint condition, in-box, all that other stuff, that's a whole nother thing. That's another collectible world. I'm not into that personally. If you like doing that kind of stuff, go ahead, right? There's one thing is oh, if I'm going to buy a game, I want it in the box. I want it with the manual and all that stuff. I want it complete. Sure. Then there's the whole, investment aspect of it. I'm not into that at all. If I buy a game, it's because I want to have the game. I want to play it. I want to own it. But yeah. So there's a lot of also common games that are crap that nobody buys and they're not really worth anything. So there's an aspect to that too with game collecting. So
yeah. I think in general it maybe takes a little fun away when you're starting to think stuff like that. It's just enjoy it.
Yeah, if you're buying rare for rare's sake, then it kind of does feel a little weird. We collect movies, and there are certainly I very rarely do I seek out some rare collector's edition. If somebody's putting out a new hey, we're putting out a box set, okay, I'll buy the box set. Like that's neat. I got it all the movies all in one. You gotta come to the book and documentary, whatever. I enjoy that. But like, somebody like there are like these companies that put out like movies that I own, like, oh, here it comes a special edition steelbook and this and that and the other thing. I'm like, yeah, but it's the same printing of the movie, which I already have, and this is like $180. Like it's
Right.
some like special European or South Korean release, and like packaging is nice and all. And
Yeah.
I can appreciate it, but I'm just like, there's a certain point where I'm like, I don't need to spend that much money for packaging. And I
Yeah.
get that it's rare because they're gonna do like this 400 print run of this set, but like, I don't know. You
Yeah.
really have to be into that company's like product range to like really want this.
Yeah, like I love steelbooks. I wish all of our movies are steelbooks, but like I don't like. Yeah, I don't buy it. I would buy it. Maybe I would spend a little bit more money on it because I like it and not because I want to collect the rarest form of something. It's like I want my collection to look the way that I prefer.
Yeah. Pretty How kind of nails it. Most rare things are rarely the intentionally rare editions.
Yeah.
I have to agree. My rarest Blu-rays are the ones that aren't special editions or anything like that. They are just like unintentionally low, like they're out of print discs that maybe had a very, very small print run. And if you got it, you got it. You can't get it anywhere else. Like, one of my more valuable discs is Dogma Blu-ray. And I don't even know what that's worth anymore. Probably not that much money. But like, let's look it up. If you ever find Dogma on Blu-ray, it's worth money. So if you see it at the thrift store, buy it. I see them on eBay selling for, well, actually the asking prices are anywhere from like $80. I see somebody's asking for $300. That's kind of stupid. But I see it going for as low as 40, as high as 100 and 300. But a lot of the people are asking for around $100 for it.
The fact that there's this many listing currently open is just kind of to show you that it's not that rare.
Yeah, I mean, let's see what it has sold for. Find that button. That's also the thing. Whenever you look on eBay and stuff for like the values of items, you definitely want to check for what they sold for, not what people are asking for. I can't find the button for sold for it. Free international shipping, more filters. Whatever, I can't find it. But anyways, again, that was a non-intentional type of rarity. Whereas I have special edition that might be worth a little bit more because like in terms of value, it might just because it was an expensive edition. So odds are you're not going to find it for $1 somewhere. But like I don't know. I'm never selling any of this stuff anyway, so it doesn't really matter to me.
Yeah.
All right. Topher Cobra, were you able to track down that Burger King milk glass mug? No, because it's a pretty rare mug. Speaking of which, I checked the website that had it. It sold it. That $600 Burger King mug that I posted on my Instagram. Somebody spent $6. Cool.
Well,
I didn't. I wouldn't.
Good for them
if
they have that kind of throwaway money.
Yeah. Richard the Great. Yeah, my 90s basketball cards are like $5 each. LOL. Yeah, if that. It's like the list.
$5 each sounds like a lot.
No. Only for the good ones. Like, because you've got like for every.
Right. Like the other ones are pennies, so not even nobody's gonna buy it, right?
Dogma sold on eBay, average around $70 on eBay. So yeah, $70. That's what a rare Blu-ray goes for. So it's not that much. Video games are certainly a lot more than that for certain games, but anyways, this is not the how to invest in collectibles channel. But I look, if you enjoy collecting, as I do with many things, just do it for the enjoyment of it. And if you can trade a couple of games in for some money that help you fund some more games, sure, that's fine. But like if you're in it because you think you're gonna get rich off of this,
Yeah, anything artificially done, it's not gonna be, you know, as good as you think they will be.
Louis Cicada, Demon's Crest for SNES. Yeah, there's a couple of SNES games. Final Fight Guy. There's what's that game called? Anyways, there's Donkey Kong Country Competition Edition. Like any of the Blockbuster exclusive games, there were a couple of them that were only released as rentals through Blockbuster Video, and they weren't sold. And eventually Blockbuster sells their stock. So these games are actually quite rare, and getting them boxed is even more rare because when Blockbuster sold their used video games, they didn't sell it with the box, or like they very rarely sold it with the box. So if you have it with the box, super, super, super rare. And those are again, not like they weren't.
That wasn't intentional.
It wasn't intentional.
It was exclusive
right?
in the way that it was maybe a marketing, but they also probably believed that they're not gonna sell that.
Nobody was collecting, not nobody, but like nobody was collecting video games in the 90s, right? It wasn't a thing. Like even though I owned a lot of games by like my late teens, that's because I never really sold anything. I never considered it a collection. As just here's my stuff. Vance Edwards, do you ever go to Comic Cons? If so, what have y'all gone as? Vance Edwards, I've gone to a Otaku-thon in Montreal once.
Did you go inside?
Yeah, I attended. I didn't dress up. I have to say that like I felt like it wasn't for. My problem was like I paid an entry fee. And then I go in, and then now I'm just shopping at all these booths, and I'm like, I felt like, why am I spending money to shop? Right? I'm like,
yeah. So it's like paying like parking for a mall.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't like that idea in general. But how it's not expensive though.
Like I don't remember. It might have been like $20 or something like that. It wasn't much, but yeah. I mean, look, I was also an adult, like. I mean, a lot of adults go there too, but like if cons were much more of a thing when I was a teenager, I probably would have enjoyed it a lot more. But I was, I guess the other part of it is like as like an adult, I'm going in there and like I see a lot of kids in there. And I'm just like, I just feel like there's an age gap here for me. Not that I shouldn't be here. It just it just felt very youthful. And I'm a low energy guy, and there's just too much energy going on for me, and I'm like, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, and you're never gonna be as excited as you would have been when you were like younger. I feel.
When I was younger, like in Toronto, there wasn't like anybody growing up in the 90s and like trying to get anime or like comic book stuff. There were comic book stores, but like anime content was very few and far between. And I feel like even among like, you had like, comic book nerds, and then you had like anime nerds. Like anime nerds have like evolved to like they're alpha, and like the are they alpha in the nerds in the nerd spectrum nowadays? I don't know, but it's just a lot more mainstream, a lot more accepted. Whereas like the amount of anime content there was few and far between, and like I'd have to travel to like the randomest stores in like Chinatown and Pacific Mall in Toronto to like get anything, and it's just like I'm working so hard just to like watch one episode of something, and I'm like now it's you can watch it all, and there's no struggle. But
I mean the part of the fun I'm sure for you would have been like the fact that it was not like everybody was not in love with this.
Maybe.
Like I think for me, like my fascination with like a lot of like American TV shows and stuff like that was that it's just that like I felt like I'm different from the mainstream people around me.
Yeah, I certainly felt that way, and I had a friend who basically wore cosplay like day to day. Like that.
That's a little much.
He like dyed his hair gray, had like blue eye, like bright blue, like eye contact.
Yeah, that's hardcore.
And like sometimes he'd had. I remember one time he came over to my house wearing red eye contacts. And my mom was like, get this kid out of my house.
Yeah, I would say that.
Like,
too.
this guy's gotta go. Get him out of here.
Yeah,
You brought home some weird friends, but this one, no. This is.
But it's like it's impressive that like like you're a kid. You probably didn't have a credit card. You somehow found a seller who has red colored contacts, and you bought it.
Yeah,
that's impressive.
It was impressive. He was a weirdo. We were both weirdos. But we met at the arcade playing Dance Dance Revolution.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, I was really big into that. All right. Okay. Back to denim related content. Vance Edward. Nicholas Viplu. When are the Naked Famous mugs coming out?
I mean, I can't say definitively, but we're trying to make it in time for Christmas. We might just slide in last minute.
Let's take a look at them. We got them right over there.
Yeah.
So
we're missing one.
Yeah, we sent one back to HQ, but we've got two here, and so we've got these milk glass mugs coming back. If you've been with Naked Famous Denim for long enough, you remember we did glasses like this very, very many years ago. So we've got a couple of designs. We've got the Naked and Famous Denim text logo mug, and we've got the jadeite with the shirt. The new shirts have this label tag design. So and then we'll have like the classic Tragic Blonde logo, full color on the white milk glass. So we're gonna have 3 new mugs available. They're very heavy, all made in Japan, and this old school milk glass type of glass. They're not ceramic. And so, you can see I have my, vintage Dunkin' Donuts one. Reese's
and my Nova Scotia lobster, Mr. Red.
Yeah. Mr. Red bids you welcome to Nova Scotia, Canada's ocean
I really like this.
Yeah.
It's like the
lobster character is pretty funny. So
cute.
we enjoy collecting these old mugs. And, very many years ago, we did a Naked and Famous Denim edition, one of them. And, people have been asking for us to do them again. We've always wanted to do them again. We found a manufacturer that can do them. And, they're being made right here in Japan. And we're going to have them available. So they're a little bit bigger than the last version. But
it would contain 280 milliliter, 9.5
ounces
fluid ounce of liquid.
So there you go. So these are coming. They're not going to be inexpensive. I'll tell you that much. But
for a mug, yes, it's gonna be expensive. But I mean, we don't know the price fully yet. We haven't figured that out yet. And the release date, it's gonna be very close to Christmas if we can make it before Christmas.
So that's the aim. So we'll get some better photos and stuff like that on the social media sooner than later. But right now, only you guys on the live stream have seen these. We haven't posted them anywhere else. So these are coming. Yeah, relatively soon. I'm looking forward to that.
Speaking of which, somebody asked about like a unbranded question. Maybe we should spill the beans here. That we have a.
Oh yeah. Okay. Will the mugs fade? Only if you treat them poorly.
Yeah. Only if we put them on in the.
Yeah. Wash them by hand. Hand wash these.
Yeah.
Okay. So we do have a new bean to spill. I don't have the bean here to show you.
Right.
But
it's a imaginary bean.
Yeah, imaginary bean. We're spilling some imaginary beans. Unbranded next month. We are gonna drop a new 22-ounce denim. So there's a 22-ounce slubby unbranded coming next month. And
only you know about it.
Only you guys know about it. We are gonna kind of just spring it up on people and be like, hey guys, it's available now.
Yes.
But
that's
still gonna be the game plan.
But you guys
get all the secrets first. So you'll know about it. It will be indigo. So we've done some slubby heavyweight denims before, but we've never exceeded 21 ounce. This is 22 ounce.
Yeah.
I was aiming for 25, but we could not get it done. But 22, we were able to push it even further than 21.
Yeah.
So
big slub. Yeah. So it's gonna feel.
Yeah. It's gonna be a great addition to Unbranded. This is not gonna be a core item. This is gonna be, usually we do like one new fabric a year with Unbranded. It's you know a limited edition run, one production. You get it. That's done. So that's what's gonna happen with these ones.
But again, we're not trying to create like a scarcity. So
no,
I think there's enough for
Yeah,
everybody
yeah.
who would want it.
Yeah, like a typical Unbranded production run. Like they're not small.
Yeah,
so
we'll make up.
you know, certain sizes might go quicker than others, but this will be a one production run, and you get it, you miss it, or you know, if it's not for you, it's not for you. That's okay. But yeah, new 22-ounce Unbranded brand denim coming next month, probably November the 18th. That is the probably date. Probably. So watch out for that. In the next little bit, we'll have a little bit more information. Mostly almost close to that date. So we're gonna spring it on a lot of people. Like, hey, surprise, new Unbranded option. Check it out, get it, and enjoy. F1 Hot Rod. Never wash your mug in the dishwasher. Never wash it. If you have to soak it, then put it in the freezer. Good advice, except putting it in the freezer only if your mug is meant for cold temperatures, right?
Yes.
Some dishware is not meant for that, so be careful.
It's delicate. Glass doesn't hold in the freezer.
No, it's gotta be heat and cold safe. For
Yeah,
that. So
like
be careful.
Yeah, room temperature.
Yeah, don't cut yourself. KW, I'm gonna buy these, but hopefully won't go into full blown Fire King collecting. So with the milk glass, that, to be fair, if you live in America, you go to the thrift store, you go to the flea market, you're gonna find Fire King mugs, and they're gonna be $5, $10, $20. Like it's only in Japan.
Yeah, because we didn't have it. It's one of those things like that, like it's not like it exists in nature. It's like same thing as mid-century modern furniture here. It's like nobody's parents or grandparents had those in real life. So it's very like somebody who loved it had to import it from America.
Yeah. So there's a huge tax on mid-century modern furniture here in Japan. There's a huge tax on Fire King products here because there is a love of Americana stuff. I mean, it's the same thing. It goes with the jeans, right? Vintage American Levi's go for a lot of money here, or vintage American jeans in general go for a lot of money here because they didn't have them here. Whereas in America, there's less of an appreciation for certain things because you had it. Now, that's not to say that people don't appreciate Fire King in North America. I think they do. I'm from there, and I loved it, and I bought a lot of it. And whenever we go back to, Canada, whenever we can, we go to the thrift store, we go to the flea markets, we're buying up everything we find. Like, we love it.
Well, unless, like, they market so much.
Some people...
They're like, like, starting to realize that they have, I mean, I'm sure they don't, but, like, the value is going up.
Yeah.
So,
but even then, like, they're not in the range of, like, this is a 500. Somebody, like, to say that nobody is not correct. There's always going to be that person who realizes that they might have something that is a little bit more rare on their hands. But most places that we shop at, like, we get them for $1, $2, $5, 10, like maybe $20 is the most I've ever spent in nature for a Fire King mug. Yeah,
but we've seen like 40, 50 in North America too. So it's just,
Yeah.
But that's the fun. Like you're trying to find like a treasure, like a deal, you know.
I'm very much about the deals.
It's easy to pay more to get like something rare, but the looking for it is the fun.
Right. Okay. F1 Hot Rod. I am out. It's been fun. Loved wearing my selvage to the office today. It feels good to have such superior style to my coworkers. Have a great night, everyone. Thanks for joining F1 Hot Rod. And BD also chimed in a little bit earlier to remind us to like this video. I didn't ask you guys yet, so if you have that opportunity, hit the little like button. Let us know you appreciate this type of content. And of course, if you haven't already subscribed and you're watching right now, hit the subscribe button. It'll make you feel good, I promise.
Yeah. And then we'll make us all feel good because we get to see that little
the little animation play. So now's a great opportunity. Do it now. All right, back to the show. Another thing that we talked about a little bit earlier in the stream today, that Garrett's been on holiday at Tatinyoko, so me and you, we've been in the we've been answering a little bit more customer service questions than usual. I wanted to talk about some other things related to customer service in terms of like how to ask questions, right? I've probably talked about this before, and I'm sure this isn't you guys. Like I'm very, but sometimes I just need to rant because I need to get it off my chest. And when you're talking to people who can understand it, you can relate a little bit more. But this also might help you in terms of like any other encounters you might have. But like asking the right questions and like knowing how to ask the right questions and approaching people with honey instead of fire will probably help you get your way a little bit more. There's just been some.
I think we talked.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think we talked about it, but like clearly, like we're human beings with feelings. So I think approaching customer service, it might be like a lot of people have like a customer service experience where like you're kind of dealing with like robots with just even if it's a human, like they're just handling so much volume that they're almost robots at this point. Like they have robotic answers, blah blah blah, and maybe that's where you're coming, why you have this idea. But it's like we are people just like you. We have feelings, and so even though like our policy is a policy, but at the same time because we're such a small team, like we have the room to be a little bit flexible. And we always try to be like to a certain degree. If it's unreasonable request, we probably can't answer it. But if it's reasonable and if we can accommodate it, we try to accommodate as much as possible. But that line, so the line of this is a store policy is slightly blurred. And if your issue is like right in the middle of that, like it definitely helps to be considerate. And when you're approaching us,
if you say that if you start off with like I bought these jeans and they were on sale and I didn't know that your sale policy is final sale, and I'm normally a 32 and I bought a size 30 because somebody told me to size down 3 and they don't fit, and now I'm unhappy, and I can't believe that you guys don't offer a refund policy, because how are people supposed to try jeans on? And it's like, so like you owe me a refund, or I'm gonna leave a bad review, blah 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 blah. And it's like you're coming off with, I didn't read your store policy. I didn't pay attention to the measurement guides at all, despite the measurement guide being there and a video being there. I took advice from somebody who wasn't you, and now I'm threatening you with a bad review on Google or whatever if you don't do everything that I say. Like, I'm less sympathetic to that person, right? If you say to me, "Hey,
I made a mistake.
Yeah.
I know it's my fault, but is there anything?"
I didn't realize that, I was eager, and I didn't realize that, the sale items are final sale, and I bought something that's too small, and I really want to enjoy these jeans. Is there any way that I can exchange them, or if there's anything else you can help me with, please let me know. That is the same response. Like, that's really the same ask, but like the difference is like, oh, you're going to threaten me? Yeah, you can kick rocks, right? I don't want you to kick rocks. I want you to enjoy jeans, but like my visceral like response to that is, I would never ever like just approach anybody in person that way. Like, so why are you like even online? Why would you do it? So anyway, it's just a weird thing that sometimes people do. Again, admitting a fault, saying, I missed it, I was excited. Sure, like maybe that's a tip. That's
Yeah, that is definitely
approach
a tip.
people like
Yeah.
that, and well, we're certainly flexible, right? We
Yeah.
want you to enjoy your
Yeah.
jeans, but like when you start like pointing the finger and playing the blame game,
Yeah.
and
I hate threatening.
yeah,
I also do love, like, sometimes I get an email saying like, hey, this happened, and I like, I just read that store policy doesn't allow me to return this, blah blah blah. And they're just kind of, I think maybe, I don't know what they want. Like, maybe they're thinking that I would make an exception, or maybe just they're like complaining to the fact that it's not a policy that they like. But like they'll finish the sentence with like, no, not asking like us to do anything, but rather like, I would never shop here again, right? Like sometimes it's like, it depends on the wording. Like I might just be like, oh, I'm sorry, but this is our store policy, blah blah blah. But like if it was just a sale item that just went on sale, and maybe like I'd be fine. It wasn't like hemmed or anything like that. I'll be fine to take it, like whatever. Then sometimes, even if it's rude like that, like I would never shop here again, and they don't even actually ask me to take the return or anything, but I would just like do it, and it's like, okay, I understand. I make an exception for you. Here you go. Yeah. And then they'll just slip like that, and it's like, oh my god, thank you so much.
Yeah.
And it's like,
and it's really funny to see like it go from like total anger mode.
Yeah, like
oh my god, you're the nicest person ever. Yeah. But in some ways, I hate thinking that person might feel like that's how I need to talk to customer service
that's
people
true.
now, right?
I shouldn't reward those behaviors.
Yeah, it's Vance Edwards, customer service is really a tough job. Yeah, Piero Moreau. Yep, I'm in retail. Get that all the time. The meaner they are, the tougher I get with them. The nicer you are, the more accommodating I become. Amazing people don't realize that. Mm-hmm. It's really odd how people think that, where did they even learn this behavior? Because like, even if you think like in like the movie trope of the rude customer, like the rude customer never gets their way. You know what I mean? Like, you try that in a restaurant, like. Yeah, do you know how many loogies are gonna be in your food? Like,
restaurant, I would be the nicest person.
Try being an a-hole at a restaurant and see how that works out for you. Like, you might get a nice little, you might have a nice little surprise in your food, and you'll never know, but they'll know, and like,
I would know when to risk that. But
not that I'm gonna spit on your jeans or anything, but like, but like just this odd idea that you can be really rude and get your way. Don't be rude. Be nice. You're gonna get accommodated. I'm saying very rarely do you not get accommodated.
Well, I mean, they just have to be reasonable. I mean, we do have to say no sometimes, but because we're a business, we can't just give everybody everything. Yeah. But I also think that like sometimes like like in terms of like maybe like mass retailers or like companies that are big dealing with customer service, if you become difficult, for their sake, like it's cheaper, it's more effective to give them what they want rather than fight with them. So like the difficult customers often get rewarded over like nice customers in that kind of setting. But we're not the big retailer like that. So for us, like,
I could tell you to kick rocks.
Yeah, like we have principles.
Sometimes I'll just tell you to kick rocks. Sorry.
Yeah, it might be easier to just say like, okay, fine, I'll do it for you. It takes actually less time, and maybe whatever that I'm doing is not worth that much. But if you're becoming difficult, then I don't want to reward that behavior so much.
Like I invite, like sometimes like, I'm never gonna shop with you again. I'm like, good. Like, you know what? Good. Sorry. Like, there's really, your request is so beyond the pale, and go be somebody else's problem. I'm really happy that you like. I will never write that email, but sometimes I'm like, I am so happy. I hope you're honest. Mm-hmm. In this sense, I hope you're honest, and that you're gonna go be somebody else's problem. Yeah. Another one that kind of hits us oddly, and some people take it the wrong way when we can't actually answer this question is, hi, I'm 5'9", I weigh 180 pounds. What size should I wear?
Yeah. And I wear I wear size 32 in Levi's blah blah blah. And it's like, what am I supposed to know about that?
I'm like, I don't know. Like and like when we answer that question, it's not like we don't say we don't know. What we say is the best way to determine your size, take the jeans that you own, measure them, and then compare them to the measurement charts, because that is actually the best, answer. Because your Levi's 32 or your diesel jeans and whatever size and whatever fit, you've worn them. Like, even if I knew precisely the measurement of every brand's jeans, you've worn them. So what they are brand new versus what they are now, and I don't know what their specs are. I don't know all of that. How can you expect me to know all that? So if you measure your jeans and compare to the chart, that's always the best advice. That way you're gonna be able to compare apples to apples in terms of measurements. And a lot of people still don't understand that their size 32 jean isn't a 32, measurement. Mm-hmm. They believe that for some reason in the raw denim world that we've constructed this odd, crazy difficult way of sizing, that the 32 size jean isn't a 32-inch waist. It's actually just a 32, and then it measures maybe 33 and a half, maybe 34. We're not unique in that sense. Your jeans that you're wearing right now the tag size doesn't match up with the measurement. It just doesn't do that. You might be learning about this for the first time, or maybe you're ignoring what we're trying to convey. But sometimes we get into these odd, people want us to tell them exactly what size and what fit to buy, because they want to kind of obfuscate this, responsibility. Right. And so if we
blame it on us if it doesn't fit,
right? Yeah. So we always say measure the jeans. Yeah. Don't measure your body, because your waist is different than everybody's.
Yeah,
your waist could be here, your waist could be down here. It depends on where you consider your waist to be. Everyone seems to have a different opinion on it. But where your jeans fit you, know this. So measure your jeans. And sometimes people are so upset that our answer is measure your jeans,
and that we refuse to actually name a size that it might be this size.
Yeah.
And that they just try every other way to make us, force us to say something.
Yeah. It's really funny.
Yeah, but I actually think that I mean, we don't have it written in stones, but we in general, none of us would ever suggest a size for a customer. If if they're in front of us, sure.
Yeah, if I'm looking at you and I can be fine. Oh, you look like you might be a 34.
Yeah, try this first or whatever. But we're never gonna say you without looking at you sending us all this information and can I talk about my email?
Yeah.
So there's this person, I don't necessarily think they were being aggressive, but he was doing all these things, writing the whole backstory about himself. It's nice to know the customers, but it clearly doesn't help me finding a size for you. And then he was one of those people who's just this is my measurement, my waist measures to be blah 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 blah. It's not specific enough for me to actually understand your body. Because just, again, like Bezos said, numbers are numbers. When you say waist, I don't understand, what you're measuring really. And so obviously I did the response of, and he was also saying I'm thinking of these fabrics, these fabrics, very different, wide variety of fabric options he mentioned. So, my understanding was maybe he's new to this. So, the size-wise, again, here's the best way to figure out your size. We actually believe in this. This is the best way. So, I see that you listed all your measurements, but, it's even better if you measure the jeans that you have on hand and compare the measurements with the measurement guide. And obviously, all different styles have different measurements.
Mhm.
So like you want to look at the item that you are intending to buy when you're comparing measurements. And for the fabric wise, like these are good for like if you are into these kind of like if you're looking for these kind of raw denim experience, like these are the good ones. And if you're like more towards like your lifestyle is a little bit more active or whatever,
I
then
want the comfort
yeah,
fabrics.
and
Yeah.
all the chapel. Like I wrote a whole thing. It was maybe too long, but I wanted to help this person, so I spent a lot of time to answer that. And their response was that like, well, like you didn't tell me what size to buy. You're not helpful.
Yeah. It was very odd, like a very unusual response to such a like.
And he wasn't even being aggressive. He was just like, literally, you are not being helpful at all. And I'm just going to have to find somebody who, like, or some brand who can have a better customer service. It's like,
Yeah, good. You know what? Those are the situations where it's like, you're welcome. You know what? You're welcome. Whatever new brand this person finds. Look, it's just there's some times where I cannot. You do everything that you can to try and explain something,
mm-hmm.
and somebody's not listening. Like I can't make you listen.
Right.
I can't make you listen.
Yeah.
And so I would. It would be nice if you wore our products,
mm-hmm.
but if you're, I just see that a customer like this has got a world of problems that they're going to give us, right? Oh,
Right.
you didn't the size that you recommended for me, which is based off of no photos, no nothing, just a brief description of how I look.
Or how you think you look, too. I
Yeah.
mean, it's like, that's important. Because, like, like you can describe yourself as, like, thin and tall, but that doesn't really mean anything.
I mean, what's thin and tall? Are you athletic and thin and tall? Are you, like, a rail? I don't, like... no, I have no context.
Yeah.
Like, so... For me to give you solid advice is impossible. And if I were to give you advice, it would be bad advice. And if it worked out, it would be a fluke. And if it didn't work out, which is most likely the case, then you're going to be upset. So why don't we just do what we know works?
Mm-hmm.
And because we sell a lot of jeans, we know what works. And if you do this, you're going to be happy. If you don't do it, you're going to have a bad time. And I like, that's why we have good customer service. That's why we answer the questions in depth. That's why we make videos. That's why we do all this stuff. Like, we really want you to be able to enjoy our jeans. But if you're doing your darndest to just fight against the system because somehow you're above getting a measuring tape out,
mm-hmm.
then you're going to have a bad time. Like, buying clothes online isn't easy. I understand. It's easy to go into a store and try it on. You know what fits. I'm looking at numbers. I gotta do this stuff. But you know what's more annoying? You getting a pair of jeans that doesn't fit, and then you gotta send us an email saying, hey, they don't fit, what should I do? Okay, go through the return process. I gotta go buy a shipping label. I gotta send it back. I gotta wait for it to be accepted, and then I get a return credit, and then I gotta buy another pair of jeans and go through. Now maybe I'm gonna do the measurements, or maybe I'm not even gonna do the measurements this time. I'm just gonna roll the dice again. Gotta pay for shipping again. Get them. It's all this dice rolling where it's like, I don't want you to roll the dice. I want you to get the jeans that fit you the first time. And now you might get a pair of jeans that fit you the first time. You don't like them. You don't like how they look, whatever. You don't like how they fit.
That's
fine.
A risk. Yeah.
That's fine. That's a risk with anything, right? Sometimes you go to the store, you buy a t-shirt or you buy a shirt, you don't try it on, you get home, you don't like it. Okay, right? We all play these risks with all the products that we buy. Like, nobody, but it's just when you get into like aggressive territory, you're just not going to get as much like juice from this fruit.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you get more juice from a fruit when you're aggressive with it, but we're not that kind of fruit.
Not a fruit at all, actually.
Mike Knight, I'm 5'8", 190 pounds, and my girlfriend says I'm skinny. Right?
Yeah.
My mom says I'm cool. So
yeah. Take that.
what can I say? Mark Sheenberger. I get annoyed by brands that patronize me. I appreciate being spoken to under the assumption that I'm not an idiot.
Yes,
Yep.
I think we try to gauge like because the way the customer asks question can tell you a lot about like the level of knowledge that they have. So like we try to gauge that. Like obviously, like if it sounded like somebody who knows what like what like the whole thing of raw denim, then we're not gonna like start from like the very basics.
Yeah.
But we do, we don't want to alienate people by saying like like you should know all these things, like make an assumption that like they know everything about raw denim also. Like that's the reason why we're here. If it's your first time buying raw denim, you have to start from like a place where like this is not a common knowledge.
Like sometimes you'll have a customer who says, oh, I wear indigo power stretch, I wear like the active motion denim. It's a very, very like, oh, these are the kinds of jeans that I like wearing. What size can you recommend for me in like 100% cotton rigid, blah, blah, blah. And sometimes you get the feeling like, oh, like, I don't know if you, well, that's actually that's a fair question. But I've had instances where people are very, like they wear a lot of comfort denim. And I think they get confused when they wear their same size in a 100% cotton jean, and then they're confused about why they don't fit or feel the same. And asking for sizing, if I say like I know I'm coming from stretch and I want to go to 100% cotton, how can I accommodate for that? And we'll say, maybe you have to go a little bit bigger just to accommodate for the fact that these jeans don't stretch as much. They'll stretch out a little bit, but when you wear that size 26, classic fit with the stretch, just it might measure that way, but like give it a little tug and you've got an extra 1.5 inches on there, right? And maybe that extra, you don't need the whole extra 1.5 inches, but maybe that extra 3/4 of an inch or an inch are what makes them feel good for you. So just because they measure out to be a 28, you're probably wearing them like they're a 29.
Yeah,
so
it's mostly
it's a little bit of a thing you have to you have to account for. So that's fine. But if someone's asking for, sometimes they're very used to wearing stretch jeans, and they're asking about 100% cotton options. You sometimes have to gauge whether or not they realize that there's going to be a difference here, or if they're asking you like how I should account for the difference here, right? So there's just sometimes it's just the way you ask a question that you're going to know, just like you said, how experienced they are. Like if you're asking for sizing advice based on like height and weight, you're probably new to buying raw denim online, right? If you're saying, oh, hey, I wear a size 32 weird guy and the deep indigo stretch selvage, and I want to get them now in the blue comfort, and I see, you start talking about measurements. Or even if you're just making that, say, hey, I wear a weird guy 32 deep indigo stretch selvage. What size do you think I should get in, something else? I know that the fact that you actually wrote out the specific model and size, that you're basically asking me a measurement question, right? Because I just from my experience, that is what you're asking me. You might not have asked it in those words, but I get it, right? But yeah, the height and weight is like super novice. Nobody told you that's really, nobody's going to be able to give you good advice based on that. And any advice that is being given to you on that, and it might have worked out for you in the past, has just solidly been rolling the dice, right? If you're a 32, odds are you're a 32. Like if you wear 32, usually odds are you're a 32 in our jeans. That's the odds.
If you wear 32 in our jeans, usually, yes. Yeah.
Right. So,
but you just start from there, and then the reason why we spend the time and effort to measure each product and each size and publish them is because of the variance, and you want to take that out as much as possible, and that's what we're trying to do. And I think we do like we've been in this industry for a long time. We've been selling jeans online for a long time. We've dealt with all these problems. And absolutely, with the confidence, we can say that like this is actually the best way to figure out, not just like, us guessing what you might look
Yeah.
like and, telling you what size to get.
Yeah.
So I think I do, want people to put a little bit of trust in our expertise of how to find the jeans.
Mac writes a good question, and then it's responded to by Vance. I wonder what percentage of Naked and Famous / Unbranded customers are new to Raws and / non-denim heads. And then Mac says, I think a lot. We certainly bring a lot of new people into the raw denim world. Most of our customers are actually pre-existing customers. So, if you've bought a Naked and Famous jean before, odds are you'll come back to buy another pair. I think that's I say that's probably because most of our customers are men, but once you find a fit you like, you just tend to, that's my fit. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's just, so there's a lot of that. But I guess because we have an accessible price point, especially with Unbranded, you bring in a lot of curious people into the raw denim world that way. And then I would say that in customer service land, it's either like, there's a good amount of like, I'm new to raw denim style questions. So, I mean, the person who knows what they're doing probably isn't writing to you a whole lot, customer service wise. So you don't actually have to deal with them that much. It's usually like, if it is, it's usually like maybe there's an odd sizing question or a return exchange, type of situation with experienced folks. And then you get a lot of like, I'm new to raw denim, help me figure this out type of questions, which we account for. But yeah, the majority of Naked and Famous customers at this point in our existence are they're existing customers. They're people who have enjoyed a pair of Naked and Famous denim jeans before, and they're just looking for their next pair. Yeah.
I mean, in general, our customers are wonderful, and when they ask us, these questions, most of the time their response is, "Okay, I'm gonna go and follow your instructions." So I don't think, in fact, like these like funny examples are outliers. Like they're not common things, but it is funny how like some people just really force you, like want to force you to say something that so that they don't have to take responsibility afterwards.
It's odd because like sometimes I'll get a response, like I'll give solid advice, like use a measurement guide or like how to wash or something like that, and it's not the answer that somebody's looking for, and they're like, I'm not new to raw denim, right? I've been wearing raw denim for 2 years, and I'm like,
that's cute.
That's nice. That's nice, right? Like I've sold tens of thousands of pairs of raw denim jeans, and like I'm not trying to be like argument from authority type of situation here, but like I know what I'm talking about. Like I'm giving you good advice. Like I'm giving you good advice. You don't want it, that's fine, right? But sometimes maybe you're just sending us an email to like validate you're trying to validate your point somehow, and I don't know. I've certainly had my fair share of people telling me like how experienced they are with raw denim, and like I've had 5 pairs of raw denim jeans, and I'm like, okay, like that's not a small amount, sure, but if that's your argument, like if your argument is I know what I'm talking about because I have 5, and I could then turn around and say, well, I have a warehouse with 20,000 pairs of raw denim jeans, or I've personally had, and own hundreds of pairs of jeans, I win? Is that your game plan with me? Like, since I've been wearing raw denim jeans for 5 years, I'm an expert, and you're just some guy on the customer service line who obviously doesn't know anything, even though you're working at a raw denim store. Perhaps. Right? But that's my favorite one. I know I've had 5 jeans. I'm not new to this. I'm like, okay, sure. So if that's our standard, I'm still right. Right. Sometimes I just want to be like, yeah, I've been doing denim for like 20 years and I own hundreds of pairs and I've sold thousands. So tens of thousands. So
Yeah. And it's also like collectively we have this knowledge. So even if you get responded to by a new customer service person of ours, like, maybe he's personally into raw denim for a couple of years, he's working with a knowledge that we have collectively collected over the past 15, 20 years. So I mean, it's just like you cannot argue with that, really.
We've got a question here from Kushaya Hooper. What do you recommend for a measurement that's 32 waist to 38 length? I don't know. Measurement guides, my friend. Measurement guides. What do you recommend? Are you asking sarcastically? 32 waist to 38 length. You may be a very, very tall man. We don't have anything that's going to accommodate a 38-inch inseam, but my recommendation is just in general for sizing, as always, take the jeans that you own, measure them, go on our website, tattainyoko.com, nakedfamousdenimnyc.com. We have a little button at the bottom of the page that says, how to use a measurement guide, measurements. Follow our instructions there. There's a video there. Do exactly what we do. Measure your jeans and then compare those measurements to the charts that we have on each and every product that we have, and you will find the right size. But we won't have anything in a 38-inch inseam. Yes, I'm 6'6". 6'6", 38-inch inseam. Yeah, our inseams max out at around 34. So unless you want to wear jeans that are a little bit more ankle length, but it also depends if you prefer a 38-inch inseam rather if you have a 38-inch inseam. Some people at that height might be at the 36, 38's long. You might have long legs. Hard to tell, and this is why it's hard to tell because I'm just answering, like when you ask for size advice on the internet like that, or like even when you send me an email, hi, I'm 6'6", 38-inch inseam. What size should I buy?
Yeah,
it's hard.
I wonder if they think that like we have a calculator that says like I plug your height in here and your weight in here and your like perceived body type in here, then it just spits out like the magical size.
There might be that. But yeah, it's not like you got to use the measurement charts. You absolutely have to use the measurement charts every time to make sure you're getting the right size. Look, if we don't have your size, somebody wrote, you don't have Super Guy in size 44 anymore, because Super Guy in 44 wasn't as popular for us. So it's kind of like when we make 27s in Easy Guy. It's just not a very popular size. Sometimes we make it, sometimes we don't make it. But yeah, certain fits have more of a following for certain sizes. So, we try to handle it like that. Kashaya Hooper, thanks. I really like Naked Famous jeans. I just wish they were longer. Right. We did talk about it earlier today about super long inseams. I'm sure you have that similar issue with a lot of trousers. That said, jeans to the ankles are. I wear my jeans to the ankles quite often. You can certainly style your jeans that way. But I would imagine if you are super tall and you've always had to do that it might just feel like I just want jeans to be long enough for me.
I get it. But again, we just the size of our brand is not big enough for us to accommodate everybody.
Yeah. Imagine trying to like Shaq, like just.
And I'm sure he gets.
I guess he's got
making clothes for him.
But I always like, man, you're Shaq and you gotta go, like, I remember the stories of like Andre the Giant and just getting on airplanes and getting into hotels. I'm like, there's no bed for you.
Yeah.
There's just,
especially in Japan.
Andre the Giant in Japan must have been like he was a big draw here back in the day. I can only imagine.
Yeah, and back in the days, like now, like yes, like people are getting taller and people are aware of taller people, but like back in the days, they really did
not see a man like tiny little pill bottle. It's incredible. It looks like we got disconnected here for a second. Okay, we're back online. Kashaya Hooper, definitely. I do the ankle look with a blazer. It works perfect. We do have up to 34 and a half inch inseams. If you look on our measurement guides, you can see the inseams of the jeans that we offer. Try to find whatever is the longest, but 36, 38 inch jeans we just don't offer right now. Okay. More jackets in extra small. My wife would like a denim jacket from you guys. We have them from time to time. Check our denim jacket offerings on tatenyoko.com. If you like search by category, you go Naked Famous Denim, shop by fit, and you click denim jackets. Shows you all the denim jackets we have, but it also shows you what sizes are available. So you might see a bunch of extra smalls there.
I know. I wish we made more extra small and denim jackets as well, but we just tend not to make a lot of things that is not the most popular.
Yeah. Like over the years, I think also because our customers have been getting older with us, the guys who were buying 27, 28, 29 are now buying 30, 31, 32. Like everything's just kind of skewing up a little bit bigger over the years. And there's a little bit less of the smaller sizes in general. But, luckily we don't get too many complaints. Like, look, we're never going to make everybody happy. Somebody's going to chime in and say, oh, I wish you made this. I wish you made that. I understand. We're hearing you. But, as much as we get your feedback here on the live chat, we also pay attention to our emails and we have these back in stock notification things. So when people request stuff, we can also see oh, there seems to be a big demand for this. And if we just don't see it overall, then it's hard to just, add those things.
To be fair, we should analyze that kind of data a little bit more. We just, if we have more time.
Topher Cobra, maybe those of us who have jeans hemmed can donate the leftover scraps to those who need the extra. It doesn't quite work that way, but I do appreciate the sentiment there. Audio skipping in and out. Alien Wayfarer writes, hopefully it's working out better. But yeah, it is if one day we are world domination level, Costco level, we'll have every size imaginable. One thing I have to say about customer service. One more customer service question, then we're gonna get into movie snack time. But
previews we have.
And previews. Okay, we got a couple things, but I want to share this one. I had this one guy the other day just trying to negotiate a discount with me, and I thought it was cute. And this guy was telling me how Costco has price matching, and he's had these jeans for a few months now, but he's never worn them, and they're still new. And he sees that they're on. He bought them on sale, and now they're a little bit more marked down because that's just the way life goes. Right? Yeah. And this person assumed that they get a price match every time this item gets marked down. I presume forever. And I was just saying, well, that's not how it works. This is not. You buy it for whatever you buy it at, and things sometimes you get marked down. You can run the risk. You can wait if it's still there when it's marked. It's up to you. The bottom line is you own it now, right? And the guy was trying to tell me how Costco offers price matching and this and that and blah blah blah. And I'm just like, are you comparing Tate and Yoko to Costco? I'm like, do you do that with everything? I just want to know, when you go and buy your, kitchen appliance at Costco, right? Now, when you go to the car dealership, right, and you bought your car and you see that it's the end of the year clear out, do you go there and you're like, hey guys, Costco price matched my blender, so you, as a company that isn't called Costco, but you should be Costco, you should now you got to give me this money back because I drove the car for a year, or even if I didn't drive the car, I owned the car for a year, but now I see you have it on sale because you're clearing things out because you got new models coming in or whatever, but you need to give me a discount. Or I want to know to what extent this person is doing this in life. It has got to be the craziest thing that people tell me is that like when they compare me to like Costco or
Amazon is a very common thing people compare us to.
Yeah,
it's
I'm
like, do you realize how big Amazon is?
Yeah, they're like, Amazon does this. I'm like, great. Here's what I'm gonna do for you.
Yeah.
Okay, when I'm the size of Amazon, I promise I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that same thing that Amazon does. I'm gonna have a streaming service. I'm gonna have everything, right? We're gonna have drone delivery within 12 seconds. We're gonna have everything. We're gonna have a music service. We're gonna have it all, right? Just wait until I'm there. Wait till you can sign up to the Tate and Yoko Prime movie service. We're gonna make movies. It's gonna be all jeans all the time, right? Only love romantic movies about jeans. Horror movies about jeans, only jeans. In fact, we're gonna have the music service, and it's just gonna be ASMR of me scratching jeans all the time. Okay, it's all jeans all the time, forever and ever. And when we're a bajillion-dollar company, I promise to offer you the split-second shipping. Okay, or returns for whatever reason possible.
For any reason. Yeah. I mean, this always comes down to like people like not taking responsibility of their own decisions. Like, it's like you decided that these jeans are worth this much money, and that's why you bought it. You bought it at a sale price. You probably didn't buy it at the full price because you didn't think that it's worth it. And then it went down, and it's like, oh, okay, at this price, I feel like this is a good exchange of goods. I give you this much money and you give me the jeans. Great. Like, you made that decision. We didn't put a gun to your head.
Yeah. Strong Frenchie writes, they do it. I've worked in auto finance my whole life. They do it all the time. Yeah. I would not be surprised. Like, of course, like if somebody's like, I'm going to say it, stupid enough to make the Tate and Yoko Costco comparison, there's no doubt, obviously if you've been in customer service long enough, you know that people will make the dumbest and craziest, claims sometimes. But sometimes I'm just like, I want to follow you around with a camera just for a week. I just want to know how your life goes, right? Like, I just want to know how hard it is to be you, because constantly you're comparing things to Costco, right? That just has to be your way of life. Like,
or maybe he lives in Costco. Like, maybe his entire life, except for buying jeans, is Costco.
Right. Like,
I mean, Costco does serve your cars and stuff.
They sell tires. They do everything. But like,
it's a great company.
When you go to the restaurant, you're like, why isn't this hot dog 49 cents? I'm like, we don't serve hot dogs here, sir. And you're like, yes, but you see, Costco serves 49-cent hot dogs, and they've been doing it for forever, and they don't increase the price, and you don't even have a hot dog. So go get me a Costco hot dog right now. Like, is that your life? Is that how it is? I gotta know. If you're the Costco guy who sent me that email, I am making fun of you, but maybe I'm doing so because I don't understand you.
We're fascinated by
and I want to know more about the struggle. Like, I think it's a struggle. Maybe it's not. Maybe if I learn more about you, I realize that I'm not seeing the world the right way. Yeah. I love Costco. Don't get me wrong. I love it. But I separate businesses. I know Costco operates the way Costco operates, and I know that Tim Hortons operates the way that Tim Hortons operates.
Yeah.
And I understand that the gas station operates the way the gas station operates. Yeah. Sometimes the gas station is Costco. I got it. Understand, right? But if I'm not shopping at Costco, I separate the two.
Yeah, and I'm sure also Costco lets you return things after, weeks of using it or whatever. But I don't think that the gas station Costco allows you to return gas after a certain amount of time also. Like,
right. Do they try to return gas?
Yeah. I mean, I found another gas station that is like, half a cent cheaper. So I'm just going to return this gas that I bought here. I wonder if that's a thing.
Somebody tell me if you've worked in a gas station and somebody tried to return gas. I want to know. That has got to have happened.
And do you accept it? Yeah. I also want to know.
Oh, yeah, they certainly wouldn't. They'd tell me kick rocks. But I want to know the mentality of, I bought gas here. Down the street, it's cheaper. I need to return the gas here, or you need to give me a price match. Oh boy,
Price
I
match
can
gas.
only imagine.
Price match gas is gonna be so
Oh
funny.
my
The
god, that is the
topic.
craziest thing I've ever thought of, and it's definitely happened. It definitely has happened. All right, thumbs up for roasting the Costco guy, Frank M. Yes, yes, the Costco guy.
We're kind of bullying the Costco guy.
I'm not bullying him. He's learning. If he's watching.
No, but to be fair, like, you know, I am sure these people exist because enough times they get rewarded for this behavior. Like,
Yes.
enough times they get what they want. So I mean, you know, you don't ask, you don't get. Is the I guess that's the saying. So fine, but just don't offend us. Intentionally.
Yeah. If you start, Amazon does this. I'm like, great. You know, you could have shopped there. Like I know Costco carries jeans. They don't have our jeans, but they have jeans. If you want the Costco service, you got to shop at Costco. If you want the Tati and Yoko service, you come to Tati and Yoko.
Different kinds of services. You know, you don't. There is no Costco person who can tell you like
what size to buy
or like amazing differences of fabrics in jeans. I don't think they offer that service.
Yes. So they do have samples though, so you could. You do have. We don't have that at Tati and Yoko. You can't come in and be like, "Can I taste that?"
You know what I never realized? Costco sell clothes, but there is no fitting room.
No, there's no fitting room. Yeah.
I never noticed that.
You don't need to try your jeans on at Costco because they fit, and if they don't fit, you can return them.
That's true.
Forever.
That's true. Okay.
Right. But yeah, you see the difference there. You know, I would like you to go to Costco and be like, you know what? Tati and Yoko carries 22-ounce big slub denim, and they have a person who's going to fit your jeans and hem them for you. And, you know, why aren't you guys doing this?
Yeah.
Try that. Try that. Try that one. See if they even respond to you. Because you know what? I'm dumb enough to respond to some of these people sometimes.
Always respond to everybody.
Yeah, Naked Famous Denim fabric samples would be cool. Yeah, we'll just have a person just
handing out
little scraps of fabric. Here you go. That'll be fun.
That is actually kind of a nice
It's not a bad idea.
Like, if you want to, you know, like how fabric are like we you know, regular clothing.
I think we just came on an idea.
We just have a card of like, here's a sampler of these fabrics, and you can, you know, you're gonna have to buy them.
See,
because, you know,
this is what I love about stupid ideas, is that stupid ideas sometimes bring good ideas.
Like,
because
inspire us.
That is a good idea. If we made like a little card or a little thing with like all the fabrics of the season, like, you know, instead of a catalog, it's like, here's all the.
You can feel
Here's
them.
a sampler.
Yeah,
you have a little sampler thing, and like we can place an order, we send it to you. And, you know, here, check out all the other stuff that's coming out. And now
it's an amazing idea. I'm sure some people are very... And then we can be like, you know, you can have a, you know, three fabric set, or like you can have the whole thing. Yeah. Like you're just like, you can pick like ice cream, you know, like you can pick and choose whatever you want to sample.
I love it. I love it. See, Costco. We have to be more like Costco. Samples. All right. See?
I like that.
I love it.
I really like that.
See, this is how it works. This is how it works.
I'm not promising that we're gonna do this, but it's a good idea we should think about. Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna leave that there.
Okay.
We'll do a couple of quick previews.
Yeah.
Of some product that we just released and is coming up.
Yeah. I mean, you should have seen this already.
Yeah. Elephant 11 Grandrelle. We've been talking about this for a while. It's finally here. 20-ounce big slub denim made with the Elephant 5 construction base. We've got the twisted black and white Grandrelle yarn on the inside for a very, very unique look.
Beauty.
We just dropped the video. You definitely want to check that out. If you missed your size today, because these launched today, we will have a second batch coming out in about a month. So pay attention to our social media and stuff for announcements on that one. Of course, we have got the blog post on nakedfamousdenim.com with a complete listing of retailer availability. So if you're unable to find what you're looking for on our websites, on other websites, just browse through to see who might have them, because there are often smaller retail stores that we work with that just don't have the same kind of presence online that might have these in stock. So do your homework there. Elephant 11 Grandrelle Super Guy, Weird Guy, Easy Guy denim jacket, full elephant heavyweight 20-ounce denim armor available to you now. For one. No, we actually do offer multiple payments. So
Yeah.
you can say you can do. We have Sezzle on the website, so you can have 3, 4 easy payments of. So I don't even know, but that's infomercial based.
Yeah.
You can own them now and only pay so much a month and something like that.
You order 2.
Yeah. If you order 2, we'll send you 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely get 2 for the price of 1 shipping.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, order 2 for the price of 1 shipping. We won't charge you shipping twice. We'll only charge you shipping once. Buy 2, get 2. That's an honest way to do business,
that's
right?
a good deal.
Yeah. Some other retailers might only send you none. Just take your money and run, but not us. We will definitely deliver the product to you. Probably. More than likely. More chances than not.
You won't just take your money.
We won't.
If we don't have it, sometimes inventory
issues, and then we'll
refund your money in that case.
Yeah, that's it. Okay.
Right.
Next week, this one I've had a couple of people asking me about this one lately, and this is the Perfect Blue Slub Stretch Selvage. This is a new slubby stretch denim. It's made with the same construction base that you guys might remember from a few different jeans. We did the Sakura Slub Stretch Selvage. We did the Goku. We did the Cell. This was the same construction base we used for Ryu and Ken from the Street Fighter series. So a beautiful slubby denim that's actually a lot more 3D textured than you might expect. And it has a little bit of stretch. So 2% stretch, slubby, low tension weave, 12-ounce weight. So nothing too heavy. We've had a couple of slubby options this season already. We had the Firebird Selvage, which was released last week. The Elephant 11 Grandrelle slubby denim, more slubby denim with the Perfect Blue Slub Stretch. It is made with a pure indigo, so it's synthetic indigo, but it's a little bit more of a warmer color with this kind of natural colored cotton weft. So a really neat mid-blue toned slubby denim. We'll have more information on this one next week. We'll drop a video on the channel.
Yeah, we should compare this. Put it right next to Golden Hour, because we have released that in the previous season.
Yeah,
it was spring summer. 22.
Yeah,
and then like when you're looking at them separately, it might look very similar because it has like a little bit of a lighter shade of indigo and stuff like that. But it actually looks quite different side by side.
Yeah.
So probably
this is a series that we haven't numbered.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not a series.
Yeah, it kind of goes by a different name every time.
Yeah, it's just one of those like base that we use repeatedly.
Yeah, we
similar
love this.
to like some of the street selvage.
Right.
Yeah,
that's true. Is Perfect Blue the movie recommendation this week? It isn't, but
that would have been
a good segue.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get it. Just you introduce that last one.
Okay, so the last one is probably one of the most anticipated release. Maybe next to Elephant 11, maybe even more. It is the Japan Heritage Kasuri. So this one is, we actually got a lot of questions about this constantly. So I think that makes us feel like I think a lot of people are interested in it. These are going to be finally available in probably 2 weeks. Is it?
2 weeks.
Yeah. So this is the Japan Heritage series. It is a sans-priced Japan Heritage, but it does have this like slight slub. I would say it's a mid slub. It's like a regular slub. It's not a big slub, but it is slubby enough that you can easily see the difference in yarn sizes. And then when inside of the jeans is this
crazy multicolor.
Yeah. So this is the multicolored yarn that are dyed in Kasuri dyeing method. So Kasuri dyeing is basically a dye that dyes yarns in sections. So it's one string of yarn that are dyed in different colors depending on the section.
So unlike a Grandrelle yarn, which is a yarn that is made up of multiple yarns of different colors. This is one single strand of yarn. It might be hard to see on the camera here, but you can see how it changes different colors on the same strand. So this yarn was dyed in sections to create this look. I've detached it so many times that it started to come apart. But the same yarn used for the weft here to create that multicolor interior. Very, very cool.
Yeah.
Very different.
And it's very different, again, with the rainbow colors. It's very different from Rainbow Core, which I got a couple questions about them this week. But so Rainbow Core is a denim that fades to rainbow colors. So that means that like when the indigo of the outer layer comes off, the inside of the yarn is rainbow colored. So we have a different colored yarns throughout the warps. So you see like a fade, that like denim that fades into rainbow colors, whereas this one is going to fade to white like regular, because the warp is white at
White
core. So it will fade to like a typical denim. It will fade to like a lighter shade of indigo to white eventually, but there is this undertone of the multicolored yarns inside. It looks very rainbowy, and you can even see that in like when it's raw, but I'm sure when it fades, maybe you see a little bit more in places, especially because it's a slub denim. So like the areas that you see a little bit more weft will maybe stand out a little more.
I just thought of something crazy.
What
if we used this yarn for a core color series denim?
Yeah, I wonder if that's
Kasuri
possible.
core. That'd be crazy.
And also, you know how
I'm gonna look into it.
Yeah, but like, so Kasuri is a dyeing method that was invented in order for us to make fabric that are pre-patterned. So we can now in Japan, yes, Kasuri is a Japanese word, but it's like, back in the days, like not like all these like plaid and stuff, like these are like pre-dyed pattern that are woven into the fabric, but it's only using like a single colored yarns in each strand, and it's just by changing the way it's woven, you can you can see the patterns. Whereas Kasuri is like you are like trying to line up the yarns that are like, so that it would create a pattern. So like in like one strand of yarns, you have the white part, and then you have blue part, and you have white part again, and then when it lines up, it will give you this like a jaggedy like stripe and stuff like that. So like I wonder if we could do that with like denim. That could be interesting.
Could be very interesting to make like a real Kasuri woven fabric.
Yeah. Or Kasuri core fabric.
Yeah, Kasuri core fabric.
Like the more you wear, you can reveal the pattern.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
That would be insane.
Yeah. Oh. That'd be crazy. Anyhow, I'm gonna look into that. Okay, but perfect blue. Yeah. Great anime. It's like a I was gonna do well for today. I was gonna do some horror recommendations. This is kind of like a psychological thriller film. Even if you're not an anime fan or anything like that, you will enjoy this film a lot. It's not very long, also. 81-minute runtime. Oh boy, that's a good amount of runtime. I'll tell you that much. I hate like 2 or 3 hour movies. Just
2 is fine.
2 is fine. Anything more than 2, I just can't stand it. But Perfect Blue, look it up. That was just an extra movie recommendation for the week. But I was gonna recommend and not recommend a movie this week, because usually I recommend movies. And my not recommend was this one that I picked up called Cannibal Holocaust. On the back it says it's one of the most brutal, relentless, violent, realistic films ever made. So violent and depraved that the director was charged with killing his own cast. This is true. This movie is depraved, and if anyone suggests you watch this movie, run.
I have not watched it, and I will never watch it. I can promise you that.
Yeah, I only picked this up because I have actually seen it before, but we found it on sale for like $10, and I was like, oh, I might as well have that in my collection just to say I own it. But and I liked the yellow packaging. Don't watch this. Don't. If you want, this is a found footage type of movie. If you want a found footage scare for the week, this is the one to recommend. Blair Witch Project. I think this is the one that opened us. Not this one that was made in the 70s. I think this is the grandfather to found footage films. Found footage style horror. This is the one you want to watch. The OG Blair Witch Project. I remember when this came out, and we all thought it was real. Oh, spoiler alert! It's not
It's
an
not.
actual found footage film, but I think when it came out, that probably helped to build the scariness of it, because we all thought this was a real deal. Somebody found this like tape, and now we're watching it, and yeah.
So I had not watched this movie until recently, because I actually really don't like to be scared, and I don't like scary movies.
Yeah.
So but I recently basically convinced me to watch it. It was, I'm glad I watched it. It was so scary. But so I knew about this film, but I didn't know, like, I didn't watch it when it came out. And after that, paranormal activity. Yeah. That was like a thing, thing like that. And I wonder if it was one or two. I think it was one. Maybe two. I think it was one. Anyways, like, I actually was not into like horror movies at all, to the point that, like, that also just came out, and I didn't know that people thought that this was real. And then, like, Paranormal Activity, I watched it before, anybody, like, a lot of people watched it in the theater on like an illegal download and on somebody's laptop.
Yeah.
And I totally believed that it was real, like, for the first maybe like hour of the film or whatever, because it does have like a claimer for, like, thanks for like this police department for providing the footage, blah blah blah, and it's like, it looks so official. And then it's like, I mean, like, I think an hour or so into the film I realized it wasn't, because it just went ridiculous.
But I think in that, the way you obtained it also probably helped. Like, I'm watching it from a legal download on a laptop somewhere in crappy quality, and it's just like, this could be real. Like, but I mean, this. Sorry to like, it's a long build up, but to the point, it's like, okay, I realized that it wasn't real halfway through the movie, but the fact that I spent the first hour watching it with the assumption that it is real, that stays with me. That fear. This one was, I guess it was like the internet buildup of this, like, because it was 1999. Internet was still kind of in its infancy at the time, at least in terms of like mainstream, adoption. And so it's just all these rumors and stuff floating around, like, and you have these go to the website. Oh, you can see, and it's just all these like scary clips, and it was shot on like a handy-cam style, and it's just like, this looks real. It feels real. Everything about this is real, and then the whole question of like, is it? That certainly helped build it up. And somebody asked here about the Holocaust. Why is the cannibal one bad? Is it because of all the gore? It's it's rough. There's a lot of gore, and I mean, there's a lot of question. Like, it's rough. It's not like, don't watch it. You're really actually better off just mentally. On YouTube, there's probably like half a dozen like decent like reviews of it, where people just watch it and they just talk about its depravity. And I mean, that's all that it is. Like, it is shocking as a film. If you like that kind of stuff, sure. But it's out there. It's a lot for most people. And if you've never seen like a movie like this level, like you know, you can come from like even like a mainstream horror film, or even like something that might be a little bit more obscure. This one is all the way crazy. Like it's insane.
And you can't unsee it.
Yeah, you can't
so
unsee it.
I don't want to.
I don't recommend it. I just if you know that it exists, that's one thing. But like to watch it, I suppose, is another thing. You know, we went to a special. We were movie shopping last weekend, and we went to this movie store we'd never been to, and it kind of specialized in like horror movies. And like we walked in there, and I was like,
He was like, I'm scared of these people who are in this store because this store is like insane.
Yeah, like the whole, not the whole store, but like when you walk in, the first area is like these kind of movies. I'm like, I've never heard of them before, and like I consider I'm not the biggest horror movie buff in the world, but like I consider myself to like know a decent amount, and like I'm looking at these and I'm like, I've never seen these before, and all the covers look terrifying and shocking, and there are people in here like casually browsing this stuff. Like I'm like these people are they're sick. There's something wrong with these people. And Risa's like, we're in here, and I'm like, oh yeah. Like I'm not sick. Am I sick?
Yeah.
I didn't buy any of them except for this one, but
yeah, and that's probably one of the sickest ones. So
yeah, I guess so.
What does it tell you?
I'm a sicko. Okay. Echoes Myron. Criterion usually delivers when they release movies. I noticed that you own some Criterion movies back in an old video, which had a different setup. Yeah, I own a lot of Criterion movies. I like the Criterion releases. Maybe
I like the case. Sometimes they use that white, case.
Yeah.
Like I don't.
I like the packaging. I like everything. I really like everything about.
It's like, what is it that It's like it just doesn't.
Go all the way. Go all the way.
Yeah. Why does it have
I'll get
to
a
be
Criterion
blue?
case.
I mean, I actually kind of like this because it's yellow and it's different. I haven't. We don't own that many movies of different colors other than blue and white. I mean, I guess we have some like 4K whatever black ones, but yellow is kind of nice actually.
Yeah. Here's a couple of Criterion discs. Like the packaging is just nicer. I think it does, like the fact that they go all the way up.
Yeah, and they do the special covers sometimes.
And and all the spines are numbered, and like it's just a nice, when you have them all together, it all just kind of looks nice. Great present, and there's usually like a booklet or something that comes with them that is nice. This is also a good like look at that. You got the inside artwork there too. You got the booklet here, so it's a great presentation. This is also a great movie. House. It's like a 70s Japanese horror film. It's not like, it's more psychedelic. It's like psychedelic horror.
It's not a typical Japanese horror.
Yeah.
Like it's more like a
kind
of like a B.
Yeah.
What do you call it?
Even a Japanese B movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's shot beautifully, and like the special effects are crude at best, but there's something kitschy about it.
Yeah.
And
it's like kind of like a Godzilla type, thing.
So look up House. This is, I think, a pretty famous, Japanese horror movie. For like art like movie art nerd people type of folks. So yeah, Criterion. I got a bunch. This is just a couple, but
because Myron says I own over 400 Criterion release. I started buying them back in 2004 and 5. Wow. I've got a Zatoichi box set that consists of 27 movies.
Yeah, I want that box set.
Have you seen all 27? Yeah. I'm just curious.
Yeah. I do not own over 400 of them. I probably have like, I don't know, 50, 60 of them, maybe more. I can't count. I have that Godzilla set. I got a Bruce Lee set. I got the Igmar Bergman set. I do enjoy them, and you can often get them on sale. Twice a year, usually they have a sale for like 50% off. So that's the time to like stack up on them. I own House, also Lone Wolf and Cub. I also own Wolf and Cub. Let me tell you a little secret about that box set, which some people don't know. It's not really a box set, but hold on.
I don't think I know that. Oh. House is like Japanese horror meets a Scooby-Doo episode. It's amazing. That's kind of a funny way to describe it. It is kind of. It's. I've never seen Scooby-Doo, but I get it. It's very comical and cartoony.
Lone Wolf and Cub set comes in this nice little packaging here. You know, got the discs, got the little book here. Did you know that inside the box there's a secret compartment, just like his little, you know, cart that has secret compartments on stuff on the inside? So inside, you can pull it apart at the very back.
Yeah.
There's this, and yeah, so it's got a little picture of his sled compartment thing with all like the little hidden traps and stuff. So you will not know about it unless you know about it, because see, it's like red, and then on the inside back, it just looks like it's part of the back. So you have to pull it out to see it, and they do not advertise this. So I found about it. I found out about it on a forum, and if you happen to have this set, it is really neat to know that that exists. So maybe if you didn't already know, I hope I surprised you with that one, because that's a pretty neat feature. Okay, let's do snack time.
All right,
and then we can we gotta wrap it up.
Wow.
It's a long live stream today. We're gonna almost go 3 hours with you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, we found some Japanese Pringles this week. What is this flavor, Risa?
So this is a yuzu kosho. Well, they don't actually say yuzu kosho, but it's like spicy yuzu, sour cream, and onion.
So very Japanese flavor.
Yeah, with a very
Western flavor mixed combo. So I saw that and we're like, that's kind of neat. We gotta try it out.
It's kind of funny. This guy has a star.
I do like yuzu stuff. It's sour with sour cream and onion.
Yeah, but yuzu kosho is like, you know, citrusy, spicy. So
right. Nice little pop. That's kind of a ripoff in terms of how much is in there.
Yeah, this is how low this starts. It does smell like yuzu a little bit.
It smells more like yuzu than sour cream and onion.
That's true. Yeah.
Okay, let's just get a little stack of those here. The Japanese Pringle looks small. I'll tell you that much.
They small. They are small, right? Yeah, I think they are.
Tastes like sour cream first.
But it does have the distinct
tingliness of the yuzu.
Yuzu, yeah.
These are all right.
I like it. It's not gonna make it a classic flavor.
No. It's a curiosity flavor.
Yeah, it tastes nice.
Yeah, it's kind of, there's a little bit of a spice level to sour cream and onion. So
just a tad bit.
Just a tad bit. Not much, but good chip. That's like a 6.5 chip. Out of 10.
Out of 10? Mm-hmm. Wow, that's pretty low.
I wouldn't consider that low. I consider that pretty average.
Okay. Like, where there's like a regular sour cream of Pringles?
Probably around a 6.5, 6.6, 6.7.
Around the same?
Mm-hmm. Like, to me, a Pringle, the best Pringle is, 6.5, 6.7. They're not the best chips. Best sour cream chip is a Ruffles sour cream and onion.
Okay.
That's the best one. There's no better. That's the best sour cream and onion chip. They make the best all dressed, and they make the best sour cream and onion.
I do like this because I sometimes like maybe my taste buds have like kind of numbed to a point where like if it doesn't have any kind of spice, it feels like it's flat. It's not a good thing, but so this does have the satisfying taste of sour cream and the kick. So I kind of want it. I kind of would place it out around like 7.1 or something.
Okay, all right. Still a pretty average rank though.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's not a high rank. It's not a high rank.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Everybody, we did a long one today.
Yeah.
Almost 2 hours and 40 minutes. We're at this point. So you know what? We're going to leave it there.
Yeah. Thanks for hanging out.
Everybody who watched the entire way through, unbelievable. You watched from the start to the end. You're incredible. Even if you're joining in right now, you're incredible too. Doesn't matter if you were here for a minute or if you're here for an hour. We appreciate you guys tuning in to our live stream, and we appreciate you guys being part of our Naked and Famous Denim live stream community. We'll be back again, as always, next Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. So tune in for that. We're going to be releasing the Perfect Blue Sub Stretch Selvage next Friday, October 28th. We just released the Elephant 11, so you can check that out now. Watch a movie. Yep. Stay safe out there. Be kind to somebody. Be kind to your customer service person. That's it. So we'll see you guys again soon. Yeah. Have a great weekend. Have a great night. And
thanks, guys.
That's it. Thank you, everyone.